So I have already, I just want to put this out there, lost all faith in the Gunn universe, the James Gunn DC universe.
What happened?
I saw Blue Beetle. And
is that his? Is that start of the new one?
It is supposed to be the beginning of the Gunn universe, but it was in production prior to.
Yeah, that's just his out.
Yeah.
It's the but it's the actually.
Yeah,
I thought Phil loved it though.
It's awful. It's the worst movie I've seen all year.
It's worse than Flash.
Yes.
Worse than I don't know what else.
To me, it's worse.
I'm going to say up front that you thought the acting was awful.
So it's funny. One of the few saving graces of it.
No shit.
There was a pretty good acting.
The lead kid, he was in the Cobra. He's in the. I don't know if it's
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. That's right. So when he's. I saw him casting, I'm like, that kid's not great.
So he's the weakest of the cast.
Oh, so George Lopez is the best.
Oh no, I'm sorry. George Lopez is the weakest, and then him.
Really?
You have what's your beef with old Lopez?
I don't find him funny.
You never have?
Yeah, there's a few comedians that have come up through the ranks that like everybody kind of jumps on. That I'm like, I don't get it. Dane Cook,
Superbird,
Kevin Hart.
You didn't think Kevin Hart shit was?
Say
it with your chest.
I have never once laughed at Kevin Hart. Never once.
I just
that's wild.
What do you, Joe? Do you think Kevin Hart's funny? Do you think did you like his stand up when he got popular?
I watched his stand up. Yeah.
When his uncle got out of jail.
Yeah, he never did it.
That bit, man. I don't know. I just remember laughing my ass off. Okay.
And same for Lopez, and then everybody else was kind of good. The rest of the cast was kind of good, and then the effects were great. The special effects were great. But that was it. It is so.
It's worse than Transformers?
The first Transformers?
No. You said this year. This is the worst movie this year.
Oh yeah, it's worse than
It's worse than Transformers.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Wow.
Easily. Yep.
I didn't watch Transformers, but I would have thought that was bottom of the.
Because half of the problem with Transformers is just that it doesn't do anything new. It just relives the same old tropes and does the same old thing. And
well, a lot of times the movies have like made no sense in and of themselves, not just in the universe. They just suck as movies and storytelling.
Yes, but that's not the case here.
Here, okay.
Yeah. But this one is it's really, really bad. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't have much for my nerd week. I'm just gonna go ahead and start.
How was your nerd week?
I appreciate you asking. I'm going to be having some spoilers for this. I'm just going to give the audience a fair share.
Well, it's also been 2 weeks by the time.
That's true. And nobody went to see it anyway. So,
except for you and Phil.
Yeah. There were 6 people in the theater, not including my family.
But like,
and what time and what day?
Are theaters ever
10:30
packed anymore?
It was early.
Like of the very few times I've gone to the movies in this past year, it's always been pretty empty.
Yes, this is the most empty for me. and the most full was Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was all but sold out.
Okay.
Of all the empty theaters Bobby's been in this year,
this one was
the most empty.
It's true. It's true. So they acquire this scarab, right?
I've seen the trailer, so I think I have the whole thing down.
Right, and the scarab gives the powers of the Blue Beetle.
But wait,
let me guess.
No, that's Aladdin.
Someone evil is after the scarab as well.
Yes, and actually, someone evil actually obtains the scarab.
You're kidding.
Yeah, that's how the movie starts.
Isn't this how the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka go?
Okay, so, I haven't seen it.
Oh my God! Well, I did, and I'll not.
Oh, that came out already?
It came out last night. And I watched both of them. No, just 2.
Yeah.
2.
Let me know when
it's legit 2 hours. So,
so it's like the most prized possession of this company. They put it in this room with just one guy who's like studying it. He's not like security or anything. He's just studying
scientist.
it. Yes. There's tons of like scientifical stuff going on. Like
beep beep boop boop.
Yes, all of that. There's
lights,
there's
and
tubes, there's fluids moving through tubes, Joe.
Graphs and
there's
charts.
graphs, there's charts, there's all that kind of stuff. And also his fast food meal that he's having for lunch is right there too. And then he gets up and goes to the bathroom and just leaves this room completely unguarded. And you do need to have a badge. You do need to get badged in. But you would think if you had like the most prized possession in the world, you'd put somebody at the door.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it's less secure than the Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe.
Yes, agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
Nobody knows it.
Right. I know 14 of the 15.
And that's just like one example.
It's only 11.
Is it 11?
That's what you think, Joe. I'll show you the real recipe.
There's just it's just one example of a whole bunch of shit that's just like, come on, man. I'll give you another one. The suit, when it takes control of him, it burns. It's like a burning hot suit that burns all of his clothes off. So every time the suit goes away, he's naked, right? It's that, intense heat that's just incinerates his clothes upon activation. But at the end, he's hugging onto a girl and changes. She's fine. She's fine. Doesn't bother her a bit.
Maybe she's a superhero too and is immune to hot suits.
He doesn't know
hot soup.
He doesn't know how to activate it, so he has to kind of rely on what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a reflex. Mm-hmm. So like it'll automatically kick in because it's like a symbiotic relationship, like Venom almost. But like, so he gets this idea to turn it on one time. Mm-hmm. He's like, look, I'm going to jump off the roof of this thing and it'll kick in and save me and, we'll get out of here. And the people there was like, no, you can't do that. What if it doesn't work? No. He's like, it must work. And he was running. And as he's running, they're like, no, you can't do it. But no one even puts like an arm out. And he's like running right, not at like super speed or anything, just a guy. Right. And he weighs like 90 pounds, and he's like running and there's like grown fucking people there, including George Lopez, who's like a burly dude. Right. And he's just like, no, you mustn't. It makes no effort to like put the fucking, it's just like shit like that, right?
Does the suit kick in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have been dead otherwise, right?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's immortal too.
And at one point, like, dude, it's like Nanny, his grandma. So this is the part where I'm like, shit like this is I'm like, Joe and Chris might love this fucking thing. They might. Yeah.
I don't plan to watch it.
So this old grandma
TNT Sunday afternoon
at one point gets some weaponry. Mm-hmm. And you get to see grandma like, and that's another thing. It's like I'll get to that in a bit, but you get to see grandma kind of mow down this like series of stormtroopers with a minigun.
Sounds great.
To some. To others, it sounds fucking dumb. To me.
Have you not watched Stop While My Mom Will Shoot?
I have. More logical movie than this. Anyway, so here's another thing, right? So he faces off against one of his foes, right? Earlier on in the film. And this guy is super dangerous. And he has him and he's going to kill him. The suit really wants to kill him because the suit recognizes that, this guy's a complete lunatic. We better just, neutralize the threat. And he's like, no, we don't kill. We mustn't, the same way, like he mustn't jump off you mustn't kill this guy, value of life and etc.
It's mustn't a word?
Must not.
Yeah. I know, but it's just that sounds so strange. Okay.
Fast forward. I'm just liking it because it's like, it sounds very dramatic.
Yes,
you mustn't.
Yes, mustn't.
You mustn't, milady. Fast forward 45 minutes later into the film, and everybody's just killing these nameless stormtroopers that work with no regard at all for these faceless like employees of this company, including like a giant beetle creature that like impales the fucking humans and then can't get them off. It's like supposed to be like a fun joke, like, oh, this pesky human body is impaled on my fucking foot and I had to shake it off. That no problem. Right?
Fantastic.
And then there's some other shit in there that's just like, oh, here we go, like some heavy-handed, like, you halfway expect Keenan Ivory Wayans to like pop in from the side and go message, but it doesn't actually. To include at one point like him, the bad guy who turns out to be not really bad. He's just had such a raw deal.
Misunderstood.
He is obviously the main character is a Mexican American, and then the bad guy is I think from Panama. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that.
Hang on, I make this mistake a lot. Is it Panama or Panama City, Florida?
It's not Panama City,
Alabama,
Florida.
People say we're going to Panama this weekend. I'm like, no,
no, you're not.
I don't think you are.
Which one did the papers or reports came from?
Huh?
Isn't there like a Panama report about?
Oh yeah, well, there's a whole bunch of shit.
It's not the one in Florida. It's not the one in Florida. It's not Panama City.
Okay.
Because there's
Panama
a whole bunch of
City
shit with like the Contras, and all that.
That's from actual Panama.
Yeah,
from where this guy might be from.
Yeah, guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think he might be from Panama, I think, is because there's like flashbacks to his childhood where there may have been some guerrilla warfare.
What about
kind of
the
stuff
song
going on.
by Van Halen?
Panama.
How does this relate?
None at all.
Okay.
At any rate, though, these two, Hispanic gentlemen square off, and it climaxes, Joe, with one of them throwing the other one into a statue of Christopher Columbus that shatters.
Was it in the Baltimore Harbor? No.
How big was the motherfucker's nose that said, "Let's put it on the nose"? It's just like, see, like how, like,
are there even Christopher Columbus statues in real life?
Yeah, there was one in the Baltimore Harbor. They dumped in the harbor.
Yeah, and then the fucking Italians went and got it. Like, we're not doing that. We get one fucking guy. You guys want to celebrate? We can fucking. But anyway, but it was just a lot of shit like that.
How long was it?
So here's another example, right? This dude with like the like the culture war shit, it always gets under my skin. But like this dude, he's Mexican American, right? And he lives in a very Hispanic populated town. He goes to a job interview, like in a blazer, in a button up, and he's graduated college. Like, he's the first of their family to graduate college, but he's graduated college. Slacks, shoes, all this. He like goes in, and they're like, deliveries are downstairs. I'm like, what fucking planet are you fucking people on? Nobody would do that.
Nope.
Nobody would look at anybody of any fucking ethnicity, whatever, in a fucking blazer and like in slacks and nice shoes and be like, deliveries are down. Like, are you dumb? But message. And it's just distracting, man. It's like, okay.
And
I get it.
It really gives credit that you notice it because you're one of the people who specifically don't notice that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So when you see it and
because it's so on the nose. If he came in casual clothes,
yeah,
I'd be like, okay, that can happen. That could happen.
Yeah,
and let's talk about that. But I'm also a person that thinks that culture and presentation supersede skin tone. And I find it to be a very trivial thing about a person. And usually the most least interesting thing, I know what I said, but I'm sticking to it at this point. But the least interesting thing about a person is the fucking color of their skin. But neither here nor there. He fucking, he goes in and has a bit with it. But it's just like, man, like, I don't know, dude. It's like, all right, so let's, like, environment, whatever you want to talk about, right? The environment, trans bathrooms, Palestine versus Israel, whatever you want. I'm with it. Okay, I'm with it. But can we just make sure the movie's fucking good first, and then put that shit on top?
Yes.
Please, fucking pretty please. Fuck. Somebody should have been like, well, look, this is the way we're gonna go, and somebody should have said, you mustn't.
You mustn't.
But they might have, but they didn't actually go and do anything about it.
Yeah.
Just like
mustn't.
How long was the movie? Was it like a 2-3 hour movie?
2 and some change, I think.
Not the worst.
Did the kids like it?
Kids liked it.
Okay.
Kids like it. Wife thought it was
they
dumb.
won then.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were at a kids movie though? I mean, did it really have that vibe?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it felt like your average Marvel movie with more plot inconveniences or plot inconsistencies is a better word.
All right.
Jaina had a end of the year party.
End of the
summer.
End of the summer party. What year is ending?
She walks to school with this group of kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
the walkers,
the walking squad. So they're not obviously walking anymore. So they're all going into high school, so they're taking the bus. So it was like one last time for the walking squad to get together and walk. Theoretically,
they're all in the same school, though. I assume
they are. So they're not the bus squad. Who knows how that? They might just have a new pizza party next year. Who knows? But anyway, I just, I always like to listen to their conversations and eavesdrop and then report on it. So Jaina brought up the lights and wires conversation with them, which I just thought was interesting. She's like, here's this thing that we've kind of been talking about around here recently. Now bear with me, and she goes into it, and she did a pretty good job. And I noticed that it was at one point just in their social. You need to take a break.
I'm sorry.
Yep, you're good. So anyway, I kept looking up and I could see Jaina getting irritated because she's at this gathering. There's obviously it means something to her, and they're all on their phones, and she's looking around trying to fucking engage in a conversation, and they're like, "Huh? What? And she's like, "What are we doing?" So that was a little interesting, and then the only other thing to that is I heard I don't know who it was. It may have been, I think it was Jaina, was saying to one of our other ones, somebody said something that was I guess that she didn't like, or somebody else didn't, and they were like, "I'm putting you on silent mode."
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So I'm still watching, and just like that, I'll tell you what, this might be the longest season in television history. I feel like this motherfucker is still going.
And I saw a clip from that the other day. Teeth are getting long. Teeth are getting long.
I mean, this is becoming the new Golden Girls, right?
Yeah, well, they're the same age as the Golden Girls were.
That's what I'm saying. This is a new Golden Girls, so they can keep going, I guess.
I'm just waiting on one of them to be a grandma.
How many episodes is this? I don't
know. It's long, so I think that
she's not used to regular seasons of television anymore. Is what it is.
Maybe this and Gemstones started at the same time. Gemstones ended 2 episodes ago. This one is 2, and then still has got more coming.
Yeah,
it's not over.
Bobby, you seem kind of sad about the length of this season.
I feel like
is that true?
No, I don't.
Then why the long face? It's been a while.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but but I'm also man, it just keeps going and going.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. There was something else. So I bought a couch today.
After I talk with Chuck Hill, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a big boy chair."
Are you in love with it?
Yeah. Well, so we're gonna redo our family room, and we got a little theme and everything, and it's so I bought this motherfucker, and it's gonna be bold.
Okay.
It's gonna be kind of a modern aesthetic.
So animal print?
No, not perhaps that bold, but this it's blue.
Cool.
Your couch now is blue. Your couch now is blue. Your furniture in there is blue now.
No,
that's black.
That's gray, and upstairs is black.
It's black. Never mind. What am I thinking about? I don't know.
This is blue da dee dee da. This is blue.
Okay. How's the dog gonna like it?
Yeah, well, so it's animal resistant and all that.
Oh, Kevlar.
Resistant, not proof.
Yeah. And
if
all that
you
kind of
get 2
shit.
pit bulls pulling on one cushion, it's probably going to get.
Yeah. But anyway, so I bought that. It's going to take 6 to 8 weeks, and I only put a down payment on it, and I'll pay the other half.
Okay.
They have to build it.
It's a custom.
Yeah.
They have to build it.
Oh, it's a custom
from hand.
It's a Maji case of furniture.
Because nobody has this color blue on their furniture. Is probably the reason why.
They have to procure the leather and dye it.
That's right. Had to find the right nagas for the naga hide.
But I went to this place, and I'm just not with the.
Hey, how you doing today, guys?
All that.
Oh, I cannot.
So the back and forth.
I'm the worst
what I
customer
do?
for any salesman.
You know what? I lean in.
Do you?
I leave.
I lean all the way in. Me and the kids were at the mall.
White guy.
Did I tell you about the creepy guy at Hot Topic? I know that's kind of a prerequisite for Hot Topic. He was the manager, and he literally just was standing there listening to our conversation, waiting on our time to chime in. Yeah.
Usually
so we just leaned into
doing whatever the fuck they're doing.
Man, we're these clearance, that's a great deal. And what else is on clearance? And just
Jesus Christ.
That's all they want to do is talk. But anyways, you're not with it.
Yeah. So anyway, I think he was kind of surprised because I just sat down at the table, and then he crunched the numbers, Joe, and he's got he can put 5% on the 10% and minus the 12% for the holiday weekend, and if you take that,
it's Labor Day,
multiply it by the you got blue socks on, we got a blue sock discount when you buy blue furniture with blue socks, and all this horse shit, and then he hit enter, and I was like, all right, that's the total. It was expensive. And I was like, read me everything that's on that list. And he's like, this. And I was like, all right, well, that chair, we don't even know if that motherfucker's going to fit. So take that off. And I was like, what's that fucking fee there? And he's like, this $1,200? And I'm like, yeah, that's $1,200. And he's like, oh, well, that's the warranty. And I was like, all right, well, take that off. And then he was like this, and I was like, all right, now what's the measurements on all this shit? And he was like, well, it's, so many inches this way, so many inches that way, so to speak. And I was like, does that fit? And Laura's like, one does, one doesn't. And I was like, all right, well, take one of them off. And I'm like, all right, and that's the total with the 10% and the 5% and the 16% and my blue sock discount and all that shit. And he's like, yes. I'm like, all right, here's my credit card. Put half on it now, and I'll pay the other half later. And you could just tell he was just like, that's it? That's all we're doing?
Because you're supposed to say, you need to go back to your manager and sharpen the pencil a little bit. That's the line. Yeah. Go sharpen your pencil a little bit.
So I just don't have the patience for all that shit. So
you would have hated me if you came into my auto parts store and these windshield these wipers. It's a flexible beam. It won't bend, break, or warp like a metal one. Things I'll never forget my entire life.
But you'd have loved me because I'd have been like, all right, fucking
yeah, whatever. They're $400. Okay,
wrap them up.
Yeah. Will you put them on for me? Yeah.
Yeah. Does it come with a putting on fee?
Yeah, the putting on fee. Yeah, that's the extra $40.
Let's see what else. Then I was going to talk a bit about the collection stuff. So, one thing I did get 2 statues in today. Iron Studios. I got that Evil Lynn, which I'm going to move up to the Ghostbusters, and I'm going to shift all that down. The Lion-O stuff goes down one.
Where is Evil Lynn?
Right there.
She's on the 4th shelf down.
With the base.
Yes.
Sorry, the base threw me off. That's interesting.
And she'll go up to the 2nd shelf there, and everything gets shifted down. And then I might get the Skeletor to go with it now because it's like there's room. But
trap yourself.
Some of the stuff that's a little heavy-handed, like the Wonder Woman shelf, this Catwoman shelf, and the Joker shelf specifically, I think I'm going to break down and fill out 3 smaller shelves down here on the bottom. And then the shit that I have pre-ordered, and then if shit comes in for a collection, like, if they make a fucking... whatever, fucking, Pushnikins from the fucking cantina or whatever, I'll throw him...
Hot Toys Dracula?
I'll throw them in the cart. But otherwise, I think I'm done.
That's awesome. Welcome to
I still got shit on pre-order. I'll still be buying things, but as far as like hunting down things and filling out the collection and getting all the representations and blah blah blah, I'm now just like, okay, whatever comes month to month. I don't need to really get anything. I guess
it's nice. It's very much freedom.
Yeah,
and also a lot of extra money.
Yeah,
to buy more furniture with, I guess.
Yeah,
to buy shoes. I don't know what else you spend money on.
Well, there's one. I could use one more pair of black shoes. I could use one more pair of black shoes, but
wow, get some black Air Force Ones. Those really make a statement.
They do make a statement, but I don't think that's the statement I want to make these days.
Balenciagas.
So yeah, it's just I don't know. Obviously I'll still be buying toys because I have so many pre-ordered. I think I have like 46 at BBTS, and that's the store that I'm getting away from.
Wow. I'm trying to think what.
But some of it is so it's like G.I. Joe Classified, Tunnel Rat. But it's like a lot of like $20 to $30 shit. It's not like big ticket items that are gonna break the bank.
I'm thinking I'm about done pre-ordering even all that shit because like it always ends up. I haven't seen one now that I say this, it will.
Right.
But I haven't seen one that's been hard to get past the street date, and even on sale $15 and shit. So
yeah.
I think I'm gonna play the long game on that shit now.
Limited, like actual limited edition stuff, like statues, like numbered stuff.
Yeah.
Like quote unquote limited edition shit isn't limited edition. It'll come out later. You get it.
And I get most
exclusives on exclusives.
I'm getting all my Transformers now from Hanny, with the exception of Fans Toys that I'm getting from Nick.
I talked to him a good bit at NJCC.
He's a quirky dude. I love him though. Yep. He's funny.
He and I share some of the same insights on the industry, I suppose.
Yeah, I bet. He has a very dry sense of humor when he lets his hair down, so to speak. But and then I'm getting, even like some of the shit, like I have that Mafex Bane on pre-order from.
Yes.
Well, so no, the Nightfall one.
Oh, the Lucha Libre version.
And but I'm thinking about canceling it
Do you have an Azrael to go with it?
Because I have a Bane out there.
Yes. You have a Bane here.
Yeah, well, not but I mean,
There's
like
too many Banes.
but I have like a comic book styled esque Bane out there where it's like, how many? You know what I mean? Do I need more Banes? Like, you know, I'm just like in a point where I'm like, man, like I'm getting happy with what I have and where I have it. And
I get you, man.
Do you feel in charge?
I'm starting
Of your
to.
collection? Yes, finally.
Good.
You know,
It's hard.
You know, and like I'm not like, you know, I am at a point where a lot of this shit, like this more exciting quote unquote, you know, lowercase e stuff, like doesn't do anything for me other than me saying like that's cool.
Yes.
You know, like
Well, Bobby, and I think you're not in the although you end up looking at everything, you're not in the let me replace that with the latest and greatest version because you're happy now with what you've got.
Yeah.
On a lot of stuff because I mean, and you don't collect. A 27th color of the Magic Square Prime.
Right.
You just have one, and that's it.
And then also like the you know, like the fucking HasLab, like the last few HasLab things, like the Ghost. I'm like, that's cool. Not interested, but that's cool. You know, the Hiss tank, that's cool. Don't need it, but that's cool. The helicopter.
Don't ask me to turn on the lights when you come see it. Then.
Well, I'm hoping to review it.
Oh God!
You know, but like even the helicopter, I'm like, that's cool. Like a lot of the shit, I'm like, man, that's cool, but I don't need that.
It's gonna look cool hanging from my ceiling.
Yeah, it used to be like, oh, fuck, that is really cool.
I need that.
I want it right now.
Yeah.
Now it's like, it could be cool to have it, but
and even
it's not worth the effort or the money.
Even like with cool to have it, I'm like, man, like I don't really want it. Like I love it, but I don't want it.
It also was like, I became a point where like I don't know what to do with it. It's like I want this, and I have the question, why do I want this, and what am I going to do with this?
Yeah, and I think
Especially when you run out of space, is like
exactly,
you know,
exactly. So like you know, little things end up meaning a lot more. Like I got the fucking Storm Collectibles Kano, right? I don't think much of Storm Collectibles in general, but that Kano feels like a big spot in that collection. So it's like the payoff from that figure entering my collection is far greater than
A third Bane
or a fucking Masterpiece Pipes or a, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean really shit to me.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. It's, it feels good. And I'm also kind of excited. Like I kind of want to do some different stuff and get into some different stuff and,
BDSM kind of stuff.
well, I mean, no, I said new stuff.
Oh,
You
my
s-
bad.
you
I
misheard me.
forgot.
You
not
misheard.
exploring already.
Dude, I'll tell you,
Ford Explorer.
got a little rough around here last night.
Ooh.
Yeah. Kind of like not planned or anything, just like, you know, I probably shouldn't even talk about it, but like, you know, like, rougher than it's ever gotten.
It's probably, is it from furniture shopping? Got that?
That's
Got the
it
juices
really
going?
gets the juices flowing. But
Oh, look
especially
at
when
that.
I'm buying.
Look at that plaid.
You know, but yeah, I'm excited about this room. It's going to be like, real quick. I know this is the worst fucking thing to talk about on a podcast, probably, but
No, it's not.
So it's a sectional, right? It's on one side, it's a love seat chair, then the middle piece, and then love seat.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seats there, and then we're gonna eventually get a chair to match it. We weren't sure if the chair was gonna
Are
fit.
you placing a big circle thing?
No. Okay. No.
Or you could get a different color chair also.
Yeah. So that came up.
Splash of color. Because that blue you're getting, they'll never have that again. I promise.
So that is also, we're gonna get new curtains to match that blue, and then we're painting.
What about the rug?
So we're getting a new rug.
Oh, is it going to match the drapes?
So it's going to.
Boy, I'm on one today.
So it's going to match the throw pillows. And then we're repainting the walls like I think it's called truffle, but it's like a fucking gray brown.
I was going to say it's somewhere between gray and brown.
Yeah. And then we're getting. You know, this is all like step by step, piece by piece. Like I'm hoping to maybe do it by Christmas. Who knows? But like, this fucking poster I found, it's fucking huge. It's
Bigger than that fucking Star Wars mural thing you still haven't framed yet?
no, but taller. It's probably as wide as 3 Billies.
Wow.
But it's like all like boom boxes and radios. and they're like stacked like Tetris, filling up this whole
that's really cool.
space. And then we're putting like on the one other wall, just it's like a blank cassette tape, like a TDK type. You know, it's like but it's like it's gonna have a cool little vibe, I think, in there.
Nice.
So I'm excited about it. You know, it's called with Poor People Moving or whatever, Poor People Real Estate. When you just like repaint the walls and shit. And
No, they don't even repaint the wall. They just move the furniture around.
Yeah, stuff like that. Stuff like that. You know,
Like,
make it feel.
let me rearrange my fucking one room apartment.
Hey, I'm drunk at 1 a.m. What am I going? Oh,
Yeah.
let's rearrange the furniture.
I'm gonna put this
Exactly.
on
Where's
the
my
other side of
bed
this
in the
room.
Exactly.
kitchen?
Yeah,
So-
that was amazing back in fucking 1-bedroom days.
Yeah.
Can
It's
it
still
be
pretty-
that it was all
still
so
pretty amazing.
simple then?
Yeah. And that's it. That's all I got. So Joe,
You didn't watch no Star Wars nothing?
No, I didn't.
What
I
TV?
did watch. Did I watch anything geeky? No, just like that. I think.
That's not geeky.
I meant-
Well, I guess it is in its own way.
I meant to watch Ahsoka.
Horse Girls.
It just didn't happen. Joe, you got your coffee 1st. Chris, how was your nerd week?
Busy. Update on the new DTOF Boliden. They were sending me a hardware bag. They sent me
VTOF.
2 screws.
It's still not good?
It's possible that those rest of it came because it was in a paper envelope with a hole in it. So
Yo,
a mess.
this shit
mess.
is cursed.
I've got a ton of this new job. I told you it was an airplane job. I'm going to, let me tell you the exciting places I'm going over the next 60 days. I'm going to Montreal, which I've never been. I'm excited for that. I'm going to Des Moines
Oh, are you?
and Fargo in the same week and Minneapolis.
Is that all? Is all in Canada?
The last 3 are not.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just in America.
They're in,
the
it's
Midwest.
the upper Midwest.
I thought those were all places in Montreal.
No. This is a separate.
You know how now we have a Hollywood, Maryland, and a California,
and a
Maryland.
Pasadena. Yeah,
and we have a Brooklyn as well.
yeah. It's very strange here. I don't know what's happening, but no,
Our Brooklyn's actually kind of similar.
yeah,
Less famous though.
yeah. I'll be flying into Des Moines, which there's no direct flights to any of these places.
Yeah.
And then flying, or driving to meeting someone there, and then driving to Minneapolis, and then driving from there to Fargo, and then flying out of Fargo.
You should take a boat somewhere in this trip just to like round it out.
Yeah, maybe
Or train.
Train. I could probably work.
Trains
train.
are pretty comfortable. Well, actually,
They are.
I don't know about America. I haven't ridden a train in America in a long time. But when I rode the bullet train in Japan, it was pretty fucking comfortable.
I rode one to New York last year, or whatever it was.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
I mean,
the last time I rode one was good.
and-
Like, it was much like more comfortable than a fucking
just really
bus
don't
or a
think-
plane.
Especially if you can grab the bench seats that like face each other. You know, that's the shit.
Yeah, that's.
I
what's
usually just hang out in the cafe cart.
Oh my god, the cafe cart. Depending on the train. So speaking of completing things, I have in my possession a complete set of carded Simpsons figures.
Wow,
Let's give you one for that.
And you'll never. The last carded figure I needed was I think it's Devil Homer. You'll never guess where it was found.
Where?
And JCC?
At the toy exchange down the street.
Wow.
Love it.
Mason had just hopped in there to bullshit and look, and then he's like, they had gotten in, they bought like a whole collection. It's like, I think my dad needs that one. It was $50.
I mean, it's
That's not. I
much.
think eBay was in
not that
between
much.
35 and 45. I'm like, you know what? Just buy because
in person.
the beauty of that collection is. I think the only thing I ordered was like some of the like mail away exclusives because I just didn't figure I'd ever see those anywhere, and I never have. The rest of it has all been like someone found it for me off my list, and I've pieced it. So I'm missing 2 play sets, which is about $1,000 between them.
You can get it.
I guess in my mind, I'm like, maybe one day I'll find somebody who has it, doesn't know or doesn't care, But yeah, it's cool to say that, and I've got most of my collections open, but I was thinking I might keep this one on card just because it was the last one, and it's fucking cherry. It's like perfect.
Did they ever make Boondocks figures?
I want to say somebody did, probably.
Sounds familiar.
Probably like Art Asylum or somebody like that.
Because I've thought about like just like these little odds and ends shelves I have out here that are like underneath, like to do like a like the Simpsons family, the Family Guy family, the Boondocks and South Park, the 4 kids, and be done there.
Maybe that.
But I would only go in it like because Boondocks are my 4 favorite. So if they didn't have them.
Maybe I'm wrong. It looks like there's some people that make customs, and there's some custom heads you can buy if you wanted to make
Gotcha.
your own.
Love custom head.
That fucking show was funny as shit.
Yeah,
man.
it was.
It had some. The Martin Luther King episode was something else.
Dude, a lot of those episodes were something else.
Ooh.
Heavy.
The fact they get away with that.
There's a show that had a ton of messages,
Yes.
but also had good writing to go along with it.
Great stories, good
Yep.
times, fun,
Yep.
great action.
Gangstalicious.
Gangsta was gay.
I was in the toy aisle at Walmart. It's just funny. I was in the toy aisle. Me and Kennedy had gone to Walmart to pick something up. That's my 15-year-old daughter. And of course, I ran down the toy aisle and I picked up something from the Transformers section. I was just looking at it and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And she takes it out of my hand and sits it down and says, come on, let's go. I'm like, that's fucking great. Granted, it was a Optimus Primal mask that transformed into a figure. And I was just like,
wait, a mask that transformed into a figure?
it was a mask of the monkey and it turned into something resembling a figure.
What?
And in my mind, I'm like, you know how cool that would have been when I was like 8?
A monkey
That's
mask.
but I just thought it was funny. She took it from me and put it back on. She's like, come on, let's go. That was funny. Watch Twisted Metal, a couple episodes of that series that's out. It's on
Falcon
Peacock.
in it?
Huh?
Falcon in
Yep,
it.
yeah, he's the lead.
I played the games. I just don't understand how they couldn't make a show out of that game.
So, yep, you're right.
Did they have the dude in the wheel? Because that
I
guy
haven't
was the
seen that guy
best.
yet. So you've seen Sweet Tooth is the main character you've
The-
seen that's like the named character.
That's
there's-
the clown.
Yeah, the
Clown
clown
van.
The clown van, which is played by Samoa Joe, who I've eaten dinner with.
Oh, dude.
Oh, Flex.
Oh, shit.
That
sorry.
works too. That works too.
Wrong bet.
No,
The
that works
Wilhelm
too.
scream. We watched.
Yeah, I want
think,
to see the guy who's
3
in the
episodes of
fucking strapped into the fucking wheel thing.
Well, the premise is Falcon, whose name's John Doe. He has a. He's a. They call him the milkman or something. He runs.
Yo,
Well, he's the delivery guy, and there's a bunch of outposts. All the cities are like outposts now. You know, they're guarded and everything. And there was something happened. I don't know. Something blew up and airplanes fell and EMP burst. Who knows? They didn't really explain it that well, or maybe they did and I wasn't paying attention. So, long story short, he's doing all this running around. Well, he gets called to New San Francisco, and you know who Neve Campbell is?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
actress.
of course.
So she is
Cruel Intentions.
Wild Things.
She's in Wild,
Wild Things. That's what I
and
was
she was
thinking
on
of.
Party of
That's-
Five.
that's what I was thinking of.
Witch. One of the witch movies.
Yes.
The Craft.
The
The
Craft.
Craft. She was in the Craft.
And Party of Five.
She's like 50 years old now, by the way. But anyways, she wants him to do
That all
like
checks out.
she's got a family and all this. And it's like, if you'll do this run for me and go to New Chicago, which is apparently is a bad place, and bring
Just
back
like now.
and
Yeah,
bring
just like old Chicago.
and bring back this package. I'll let you live here, and it's it's pretty much like a normal 20th century life. And so now he's going across country, and of course he has to go through Vegas, which is where Sweet Tooth lives, and there's this interaction with them, and then there's all these like basically cops that have become martial law and shooting people, and there's a whole nother story with that.
And I mean, this is basically like the movie between the first Mad Max and the second Mad Max.
Kind of,
Like
I think
when
that
after
could
civilization
work.
fell, right?
Yeah.
Like before it all goes to shit.
Right. Continue to watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They had an episode that was
Do you watch the one where like the fucking dudes are beating up 8-year-olds at?
quite possible. Oh yeah, yeah, that actually just came on because
Yeah.
it was the guy who stole their bikes when they were kids. His kids stole their bikes now. So that
Just
we
beating
actually
the
just
shit-
saw that one the
beating
other
the
day.
shit out of his kids.
So
It's funny to watch them and beat up kids.
we're getting pretty late in the series, like up close to modern times, I guess. So they had an episode. It was funny because they were all like glued to their phones and they were all slow. They're like, oh, there's an update available. Let's do the update. What are we going to do for 30 minutes? So they end up having this debate about the bathroom. Like they have a men's room and a women's room. The women's room's a lot nicer than the men's room. And it's basically a gender identification conversation that they mask by this about who gets to poop. Now you can poop in here, but you can't pee in here. And it was fucking brilliantly written. It's fantastic.
There's an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where he went to this he went to this fucking coffee shop, right? And he sits at a table where the feet on the table. There's like obviously one missing or one's too short and it's wobbly, and he's like, can we do something about this? And they're like, no. And he's like, all right, well, and there may have been some other things too, but he's finally like, all right, fuck you. He buys the place next to him and opens up his own coffee shop, right? And he's like designing it and everything. And they're like, he's like looking at like the plans for the bathroom. He's like, what's this? And like, well, these are the stalls. They're next to the urinals. He's like, no, we're not. No, we don't want any people taking a poop in here. What? And he refuses to put stalls in. It's like just urinals. And like, well, what are you going to do for the women? So he's like, and they like have to design this like urinal,
female urinal
for women, so that he doesn't have to risk people taking a shit in his restaurant.
You know where people
it's so fucking good.
People will shit in the urinal. I promise you that.
They will.
Yeah,
people will shit wherever they want to. Yeah. So let me see what else here. So we built the rock boxes this weekend. Had some folks over to help with that.
Who else? Did you have people in town?
Yeah.
Any or secret people?
Well, I mean,
Just secret people.
Dave, Dom, Brink, Chan, JD.
No shit.
Joe S. Yeah, they all came through, knocked it out. 135, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's this weekend. BotCon's this weekend. We got our event on Friday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. I'm also glad it's done because it's been very stressful. We basically did 6 months worth of shit in 2 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so but everything's done. Like all the work's done, and yeah, came out great. We're really excited to show everybody what we did. We watched some movies while I had people at the house. We watched Half Baked.
Nice.
Brian Brink had never seen Half Baked.
No kidding.
Wow.
And now he says he's seen it.
Yeah.
Because it is ridiculous. I mean, it is.
It is.
I mean, it's funny as hell, but it's just like so, like when the dog's flying, when they get the dog high. And it's obviously, they don't even try. It's like a green screen with a dog laying on a blanket is all, And
I think
it wasn't meant to be good.
No, it wasn't. It's meant to be funny.
And I think that Samson is actually like, they're like the first like branded like weed in New York that was like a big deal was called Branson. And I think it's a tip of the hat to that.
Probably so. Yeah. Fly me to the moon like that bitch Alice Cramden. So funny. And we wandered into watching this movie called Cooties. I don't know how we landed on this, but it happened. So it's basically a zombie movie where based around a group of teachers and all the kids get cooties, which ends up being zombie. They turn to zombies, but like if you've gone through puberty, it doesn't affect you, but they can still eat you and so. But it's got Elijah Wood in it, Rainn Wilson, who's Dwight from the U.S. Office. Make sure I clarify that.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Long series.
Yeah, it's pretty long. It goes on.
Much like
there's a couple
like
other
that.
There's a couple other named people in it, but it was entertaining, I'll say. It wasn't good by any stretch of the imagination. And so watched Ahsoka.
How was it?
The 2-episode premiere, and I will tell you, I think Disney's got all their eggs in the Ahsoka basket because they have been advertising the shit out of this. Like, I still watch television, cable TV or whatever, and they are dropping ads at least once every 30 minutes on any channel I've watched. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's good so far.
I'm gonna preface it.
Are you a big Clone Wars fan?
I love the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And this is a Dave Filoni project.
Yeah, so I'm assuming hoping it's gonna be fuck. Please be good.
There hasn't been. I'm trying to think if there's been anything where I was just like, what the fuck are they doing here? And I don't really think it's got a different feel than anything else. It's almost like the music's different. It's the guy who did the music for I think for Rebels is doing some of it, and I watched a 38 Easter eggs video, and obviously right. They were talking about how some of the score it's like they pull like the Imperial Death March, but just took out like they only left in like every 8th note, and it's just this. It's just really, really clever ways they're doing this. Obviously, it's the cast of Rebels is in it. So
where does this take place?
So this is
this after the original trilogy or before?
This is around
doesn't pick up
the
from
time
Mandalorian?
as Mandalorian.
Yeah, it takes
It's
place.
still-
It takes place right there. Right?
Yeah, so
it's like you
like-
see her there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's around that time.
So the Rebels make it all the way through.
Yeah, it's been
The original
It's
trilogy.
been a while. Yeah,
I mean, they make it to episode 9. I assume.
which was that was only 6 years. So
Wait,
Right.
why
No,
do you
hold on.
assume that?
if you assume that the ship and the fleet.
Oh, yeah, that's true. At least
assume the
Hera.
ghost
At
is
least
there.
Hera.
right,
Yeah,
well, we
yeah,
know
yeah,
that, but
yeah.
I mean, I think so. It's the 20 years between the prequels and the proper episode 4, 21, whatever. He was 19 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going by Earth years. So Ahsoka was, I mean, she's probably the oldest of the bunch, but we don't know how her race,
Species,
her
yeah.
species ages there, right?
Right.
The Ray Stevenson character, like the Sith-looking guy with the red saber, he's
Just the old dude?
yeah. Well, that's Ray Stevenson.
Oh, okay. I
who passed away recently.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's old.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I
Well,
mean,
listen.
Count Dooku was just some old dude with a lightsaber too.
God bless the dead. Yeah, that sucked too.
You know,
What do you mean? That sucked
listen.
too. Count Dooku was amazing.
Count Dooku was also 90. This guy was closer to, and just like that's age.
right.
All things considered. Nonetheless, the way they're setting that character
He's
up,
awesome. After Clone Wars and all the
I think he's fine. I think the Clone Wars did a lot for him.
Who are we talking
and
about?
the
Dooku.
the
Okay.
animated series did a lot for him too.
the shorts, like the little. Which one are you talking about? With animated series?
The recent one where you saw his
oh yeah, the little
His flash-
Tales of the Jedi.
yeah, the little
Tales of-
shorts.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell you, that book,
that
was fucking
that helped
fantastic,
fleshed him
too.
out a lot.
Yeah, I agree. But it's still
And
like
the books too, like how he was fucked up after the Mandalorian Wars.
it just took a lot of work.
and how his
Took
parents.
a lot of work to get him up to
right.
speed.
When you're old, it takes a bit to get up,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Okay, so Ray Stevenson, or God bless the dead.
Yeah, so he's playing this. I mean, you can see the trailer. He has a red lightsaber. Make your assumptions,
Right.
And he has somebody with him, and
A female,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's an interesting dynamic. So, and the you remember the episode of The Mandalorian where Ahsoka fought the lady, and it was a very Japanese shot scene in
Yes,
front of the
yes,
pond.
yes.
She's an integral part of all of this.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, see, I assume that this was spawned from that event because they
very
played
a
lot
lot
into it.
closer than you probably would think it would be. But
Okay.
basically, that's kind of the gist of it. It's two episodes. I want to say they're 45-minute long. I mean, you lose yourself in it a bit. I mean,
That's
it
good.
was-
That's a good thing.
yeah, no, absolutely. And it looks, I think it looks crisper than some
More
of their
cinematic?
stuff. Yeah, it does. Even like the pacing seems more cinematic. They're letting stuff breathe a little bit.
How many episodes is it supposed to be? Do we know?
I'm going to say 8.
Okay.
I believe someone said 8.
I'll watch it in a couple months then.
Yeah, so they dropped 2 today. So it actually will be
Dropped
6
deuce?
more weeks. Yeah, they dropped that hot deuce. I don't know. I'm not disappointed.
I'm hopeful.
Well, good.
It seems to lie somewhere between the seriousness of Andor and the, I don't know what you want to call
Fun
it.
adventure?
The fun adventure of Mandalorian.
Okay.
And
is
it's
where it's a good place to
getting
land.
to see all these characters evolved from where they were.
And live action versions.
I'll say one thing about Hera. Her mom got ass too. Hey, listen, those likus come off the top of their head. I don't know what they got growing in them britches, but the live action version of Hera, she can get it. Woo! I see. Hey, Kanan, what's up, dog?
Yeah.
You smiling down on me on this one, man.
Good.
Anyways, and it's actually some known actress that plays her, and the girl that's playing Sabine.
Yeah.
Who is by all appearances is going to be one of the main characters
Players,
in this
yeah.
show. I think she's cast well visually, and I think she's even got kind of she's a bit jaded obviously about everything that's happened. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And the guy who does the voice of the governor of the fall or whatever, I don't remember his name, but it's Clancy. The guy's name's Clancy something.
Clancy Jones?
He was he's in Shawshank Redemption. He's the guard, the jailer guard.
Okay.
Anyways, he plays that character, and he also did the voice. So
Nice.
nice little nod.
I wonder if Sabine and going to play any part with the new Mandalorian shit in the long run.
I think it's all going to tie together. I think. I want to say they said that the plan is to
reunification.
actually have a theatrical film that kind of ties.
Oh, the
these-
Filoni verse.
the Filoni verse, Filoni baloney.
The big Mandalorian.
Well, at least
all
he
kinds of Mandalorian armors.
Yeah.
So far, he himself as Trapper Wolf has not appeared, but there's plenty of wolves
Good.
because
Yeah, that's part of it, isn't it?
I'm just gonna say one more thing. I'm just gonna say one more thing. Space whales.
Okay.
Oh, space whales.
Fair enough.
They grew on me, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's like a barnacle.
Space whales with
Oh,
tentacles.
Joe, I have one more thing I need to tell you, Joe.
Captain
Are
Barnacle.
you ready? Joe, I was offered a job as a.
you can't even do it.
I was offered a job as a boat rope salesman.
A boat rope. Okay.
Yep. And they told us this is the line that you use. If a nautical knot set is something you wish. That's it.
It's fucking SpongeBob.
Okay. Well, you got it then. I'm sorry. That was so hard to get out. I think it was funnier in my head.
It's funny to me.
Nautical knot set is something you wish.
The SpongeBob universe
Yes.
has a lot of shit in it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like hidden shit and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like I just saw something like hit my feed and I was like, oh, I'll check this out. And it was like all these little like Easter eggs they put in and tie into a larger picture of shit. I was like, God damn, these motherfuckers were into it. Good for them.
It's funny. A lot of those, I mean, you consider kind of just a throwaway anime.
Yeah.
A lot of them have a really deep like story. Mason and I were talking about Adventure Time.
Yeah,
And
no, that shit is
didn't-
deep as fuck.
Well, I didn't realize that the kid had aged over
Yes.
that. And Mason's like, when he was 11, I was 11. When
Yeah.
he was 17, I was 17.
Yeah.
I'm like, I never fucking realized that you literally grew up. And he was like the target audience, right?
Yeah.
I've seen it casually, but I've never like dug into it. I know a couple of those other around that same era. This is really, really deep. Steven Universe, that was another one that people say is just
I couldn't get
fantastic.
into that one too much. I tried. It didn't hit me.
Yeah. Craig of the Creek. That's where it's at. Just kidding.
I've never seen any of that shit.
Hey, Joe.
How was your nerd week?
I'm sorry. Let me start over. Hey, Joey.
Joey.
Yes, sir.
How was your nerd week?
Good. They did some measurements today. Went to the Home Depot showroom, which is not a Home Depot.
Okay.
Which is funny to
Wait,
be at
what?
because you see like kind of day laborers walk in like looking confused and then walking out.
Where is that?
I went to the one in Rockville.
Okay. I
So
didn't know
it's
that
like
existed.
a really fancy looking IKEA, right? They got
Okay.
really nicely put together rooms, and you go there for interior design, decorating. They'll piece out and customize
Wow.
whatever you fucking want.
That's
Okay.
cool.
And so so you see people coming in trying to buy.
You're bloody
like-
talking my language these days, Joe.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You're talking about spending money. So like, it looks like it's gonna cost upwards to like fucking $60,000 to do what we want to do.
What do you want to do?
Completely redo our
that's right.
master bathroom, and the entire kitchen. All new appliances,
Wow.
pictures and everything. So like 60 is doable for us. Like no higher than 60, but 60 like we have cash for that.
Man, I could build a house for $60,000 if you just give me them old appliances. You got to get rid of them
Probably.
anyways.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's part of the problem with buying appliances, getting rid of the old ones. So like, it's gonna be nice. Whoever is gonna come take care
Some
of it.
places that'll sell them to you will also haul them away.
Yeah.
And sometimes the guy who brings it, if you give him $20, he'll take it away anyways, and he'll probably just sell it
Yeah.
for scrap. So.
Nice. So yes, some people came and do some like.
Is $20 still the lubricating number for most
I don't
things?
know.
Or is
I don't.
Is it
I,
more
like,
than that?
I
now?
literally
I would
don't
guess
know
it's
anymore.
50.
I am so out of touch with like inflation and like the way I spend money is that I don't really look at money. Like I either be like, okay, that's good, or no, I'm not going to buy that, right?
Yeah.
So I and because of buying like toys and shit, right? Which is completely frivolous. I've completely lost all sense of what money
Matters.
means anymore. Like
You've
what I don't know, what was it the other day? Crystal was saying something with like a nice, I don't know, piece of equipment. So that's a couple $1,000s, right? He's like, no, that's $500. I'm like, really? That's it? I was like, that's less than a statue. She's like, yeah, statues are really expensive. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Like I just don't understand what money is anymore, and I don't know what tip is to tip people. Like I like going to the restaurants because I'm like, whatever this fucking, if you do a decent enough fucking job, is at least 20%.
Yeah,
like
that's
18
our
to 25%.
20s are lowest.
Yeah, I mean, if you if you Like you have to be
20. It's usually 20. Even if we were neglectful, we just give you 20.
Yeah, like if you're just like actively like I'm just thirsty and sitting here with no water, then it's 15.
But
like, you have to be really fucking bad for
I
it
don't
to be
go
under 15.
much over 30 in the same breath. Like 30 is usually my max.
I hardly go over 25. Depends.
I mean, if
depends,
it's a 20,
depends on the bill. Depends on the bill too. Like I never tip like less than $5-10.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If it's a $25 bill, I'm probably just gonna put a $10
$10
on
on
it
it.
and just be done with it.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I mean, because that's oftentimes.
I just couldn't tell you the last
Or if
time I got $25.
if I'm at a bar and I'm buying drinks, whatever, I'll just put 10, 15 bucks.
Like especially you go to a place that's that cheap. The people working there probably needs that fucking money.
Yeah.
Like so, if I go to Waffle House, it's always like at
now
least
I'll tell you where
$10 to $20 tip.
I'm not gonna tip at Starbucks, and I'm not gonna tip at McDonald's.
No.
Mainly because at McDonald's I have to order my own goddamn food on the kiosk anyway.
I don't tip in fast food areas.
I think I tip at Starbucks.
I do not. I don't go to Starbucks. So.
Me neither. I think if anybody turns the fucking iPad around and I tip.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
that's especially when you don't. No, not.
I'm too self-conscious.
Listen, I was at NJCC and I wanted to buy a drink. Went up to the drink. I'm like, how much is this? $2. I tried to hand them cash. We don't take cash. Run the card. $2. Little machine. Would you like a tip? For what? Why am I? We could have a whole hour on this, but
yeah, I guess it depends on the drink.
So my problem is tipping
because like you'll tip for one drink at a bar.
Yeah.
Even if somebody just opens the fucking shit off your beer.
But it's like the whole sitting there being serviced and then them having to clean up after you and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Entails instead like you don't go up to the bar, grab a drink, and leave.
Yeah, you leave the bar sometimes.
You're bar hopping.
Yeah, because like, or you go out to like the little patio area, or like.
But you're still using the establishment.
Yeah, but I do feel like you're using the establishment and they're cleaning up after you get a drink. Like if you went out and you got like you were the designated driver, and
that's always me.
And you got a Sprite and you were sitting there still cleaning up after you. Still is like and it took more work to make that Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I just sometimes I don't really feel like I should have to tip. I just fold under pressure.
Yeah,
it's empathy. It's the
I don't
empathy.
know how
I'm like, well, I don't want you to go make it and be mad. Do you know what I mean? I don't want you to like go back there and make my drink and then be like, this cheap motherfucker.
I can see the jar right there. It's got $2 in it. You're not, Joe. You're talking about how much money is invaluable now or unvaluable. What's the difference? Yeah.
To me, it's time. Like
it is.
I treat money as time. So, but I don't know what to tip delivery anymore. Like I have no idea what the you don't tip delivery guys 15-20%. I don't.
Well,
do you? I don't know. See, the problem is I don't know what you tip.
So the problem is now if you're using DoorDash is if you don't tip well, you're probably not going to get your shit anytime soon because it's going to sit there until somebody is desperate to get to make the fare.
But also I can drive. So I because of the tip situation, really, over COVID I stopped using deliveries of it. I just go get it. Like pizza, I'll just go pick up my own pizza.
That's fair.
Do you tip when there's a heavy delivering fee? Like if you're getting a refrigerator and there's like a $200 delivery fee. Yeah, I don't either.
But
because that's the delivery fee. But the problem is a lot of times the delivery fee doesn't go to the delivery people. That's the fucked up part.
Correct.
Well, and it's also they're not. I don't think they're back to putting on wiper blades.
Yeah.
Where nobody, I could probably tell you, I worked in auto parts for 6 years. I probably put on 600 pairs of wiper blades and installed 200 batteries, and I probably got a total of $100 in tips.
Right.
That whole time.
Yeah. So I always do tip movers. Like I've only used them like 3 times. Yeah. But like, especially because of the shit I have.
Oh,
like,
God,
and none of it has ever been broken, and they've all done all this heavy shit.
Right.
Well, so I've tipped a few $100 to like the small
look
crew.
At fucking Taylor Swift over here spreading the love.
Man, it's hard to live out there, man.
It is, man.
Like you're doing back-breaking labor.
It is.
Carrying fucking 18 fucking details for some douchebag. Me.
Anybody with 18 details is a douchebag.
Right?
I only made a move.
Can you imagine
made a move 8,
having to move that much heavy, fragile fucking shit?
I'll tell you,
worry
man.
About breaking it and all that shit.
Did they break any of your details?
No, that's why I give them money.
They didn't break any of mine either. They just wrapped mine up with a blanket and threw it in the truck.
And my arcade machine, it's like 600 or 800 pounds. My leg press machine.
Oh, all your machines now, yeah.
Bro, like that's back-breaking labor. You're getting some of my money,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just appreciate people who works. But anyway,
fair.
I don't know how to tip delivery drivers, so I no longer get delivery, which is probably still bad because now they're getting less business. Right. And I don't know how we got here.
Right. You were at Home Depot showroom.
Yes, but yeah. So yeah, it's going to be like upwards of $60,000.
Is that something you guys are looking into doing? Seriously?
Oh, we're definitely doing it.
Okay, great.
Within the next couple of months.
Nice.
I mean, the part of like not buying toys anymore and just having just ramped up my savings, especially over COVID,
Yeah.
is that I have a lot of money in savings, and I've been talking about how I just want to be safe for retirement and shit. And I'm just like, and you guys convinced me that there's a balance there. Like having some money is good, but like you got to reevaluate what the safety net needs to be versus how much you should be spending.
Yeah.
Because like otherwise the money's just sitting there depreciating in value, by the way, anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, like this will improve our quality of life, and it's an investment because it's on the house, right? Because like, not that we plan to sell,
Right,
like,
but when you do.
when one of us dies and the other one's about to die or downsize,
Or you retire and can't live here anymore.
right.
You know, I think about that shit all the time. Like, am I going to be able to afford it here once I retire?
I mean, I will, because I'm going to have this house paid off in 45 times.
No. So will I. I'll have it. I'll have this house paid off when I retire.
Yeah.
But there's like just like the amount that it takes to live, just with taxes and fucking other bills and everything. Like it's
That's
just
why I always be looking at my Social Security and stuff. Like as of right now, I should be getting like $3,000 a month. Hopefully, between both our Social Security, we can live here.
yeah.
That's how. That's why people move down south, because it's cheap.
Yeah. Or to Delaware.
But then you live in Delaware.
Then you live in Delaware.
No, Delaware is like the Florida for the next
lower.
generation, but better. It's like Florida plus.
It was not so goddamn fucking hot. I tell you, I'm done with summer. I've had it.
I've been saying that for years.
It wasn't even bad this year, bro.
It's
wasn't-
to me.
It was just
to
on
me,
fire and
I
stuff.
can't. Shit.
Hawaii's on fire, right?
Yeah, like Maui.
Maui.
Yeah, that was awful.
There was
Canada?
other shit. Canada's on fire.
Yeah.
It was on fire so much we saw that shit down here.
And actually, this
No, I know.
we had the hottest day in like 100,000 years or some shit. I don't know who's been keeping track of it all, but you know,
And we only keep breaking records year after year. So
dude, number one.
But so yeah, I'm excited to have that. Like moving on to grown-up purchases and realizing just how expensive my hobby's been.
Right.
But it's good, and I'm still, I am still buying stuff. I have very few items on pre-order, but those are things I really want.
Yeah.
And I'm on the more expensive side, but if I buy less cheap shit, I can buy more expensive shit. That we try and tell the chug people about third party.
Chug thugs.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Detox for life, baby. Although I am getting pretty crowded, I'm going to have to introduce a third detox. I'm going to put it long ways across the top there.
Should.
Cage it in. Put some gerbils in.
Yeah, exactly.
Cast a collection in resin and just have the gerbil cages around it.
Not hamsters, ferrets.
Oh, God, no.
Ferrets like super cute.
And you need to get like an
Gross.
Omega Supreme and bend it up and fold it up and put it in there.
Well, I've got the HasLab Unicron. I think I could,
There you go.
if I break him into pieces, I could probably get in a detox.
Yeah, half transformed.
Yep.
Like battle damage,
the
bro.
ultimate goal.
Oh, it's after the fucking like take one leg off.
Yes.
Take the head off.
Yes. and I should be good for the next at least 6 years, because I was talking to my handler yesterday. And,
I love that you have a handler.
My handler is amazing. So like
Like a financial planner.
my handler, my job.
Oh, it's your job. Right.
So, but she was like, yeah, I plan to retire in 6 years, because I'm my 30 years in, and like everything, my retirement should be set. Everything should be good to go for 6 years. I'm like, congratulations. I'm glad I have you for 6 years, especially like knowing that I'm be taking care for another 6 years. I hope you fucking have someone to take care of me after that, because
Right.
like she takes care of me. Like,
Right.
I hate being late for work, right? It was one of the things I fucking hate, being late for work. No matter the circumstances, even if it's out of my control, I beat myself up for it, and I fucking hate other people who are late for work.
Yeah.
I don't care about their circumstances either. So
I hear you.
but it's fair is fair. I'm not a hypocrite. Like, I'm just as hard on myself as I am on other
I'm
people.
usually harder on myself, so to speak.
Yes, I'm like, I put myself on a standard.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Sorry. I'm just thinking, let's get it.
So I had to be late for work, like by half an hour to 45 minutes this week. I had it up at like 7:30 in the morning. I'm supposed to open at 8.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, fuck, something happened. I can't make it to work. I'm on my way. Just send, I don't want to feel like texting everyone. Just let everybody know that I'm going to be opening late. And then she got back to me in 5 minutes okay, reroute to this other location. I've swapped you. I'm putting this other person over here, and you can open it. This other soda opens an hour later instead.
Oh, nice.
It's like,
Godsend.
That's great,
yeah,
man.
and I was like, I was apologizing. I was she's like, look, you like
What happened that made you late?
you almost have the fucking
He had to go.
So-
He had to go pick up pizza
no
because he wouldn't get it delivered.
No, something happened with my phone.
Really?
To where like I'm just glad I woke up when I woke up.
Oh, your
anyway.
alarm just didn't go off?
No, it didn't go off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like nothing I can do about that. Which is the shittiest. Because like remember
Well, it
when
isn't
my,
like
my
you're
tire
habitual.
blew
Yeah.
out in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
I still beat myself up for being late.
Yeah.
By the way, I was like, let me get this tire fixed so I can get to fucking work on time.
Yeah.
You're a lot like me, and I think Bobby's the same. I don't want to inconvenience anybody
Correct.
else.
Right.
I go out of my way. My wife might say different, but I go out of my way to not inconvenience people.
Yeah, I don't
because
Yes,
I want the same
consider it.
respect.
Exactly.
I want people
I want
not
to
because
consider it.
like wasting
Courtesy.
time. If you waste my time, like driving to New York for a meeting that you demanded,
Right,
and then
right,
you're not
right.
there, that kind of
And then
shit.
you have to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that like at my job, like the store cannot open without me. Like literally, like they have to sit outside. They don't have the code to get in because it's pharmacy, right?
They're just looking
Pharmacy.
like Jay and Silent Bob.
It is always a walk of shame if you go. Like it's just a crowd of people,
Yeah, waiting on
not
you.
just the employees.
Then you gotta find the right
and
key.
the customers.
You're fumbling through the keys.
Yes,
you
yeah.
drop them.
The phone is, you can hear the phone fucking ringing off the goddamn hook. And then you know the messages are gonna be there. Like there's already work piled up because you're already fucking behind. You're
Yeah.
gonna be catching up for the rest of the day, and the rest of your coworkers is gonna have to help catch up because they're also fucking. Anyways, it's
Yeah.
a big fucking deal to be late.
I loved when I was a manager that most the time I had someone else with a key there with me. So if I'm like, hey, I'm going to be late, they could, that's fine, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Or I just, would open 30 minutes late, nobody cared.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but so she's amazing, and she's gonna be around for another 6 years. So
Good.
That's,
Well, then maybe by then you'll be ready to take her job.
no, I don't. I don't want to handle nobody.
Oh, hey, yo.
Yeah, but that's it's good and bad information for the long run. Because like I'm a like freelancer.
You're a mercenary. Just say you're a mercenary.
Basically, I'm
say you're a
a
pharmaceutical
mercenary
mercenary.
pharmacist, and
Pharmaceutical mercenary.
yeah, but I've never heard for hours. I've never had to beg for hours. I've never had to fucking.
Well, it's because you're
scramble to make
in
ends
a
meet.
very high demand job, I'd imagine.
There's a lot.
You're saying there's a lot of unemployed pharmacists right now
There's a lot of people hard up for jobs.
that are
pharmacists.
all the way degreed up. Like, really?
Yeah, too many.
Wow.
Like when I went to pharmacy school, I don't know, a long time ago. There was 60 schools, basically almost like one a state or something like that. That's it.
That would okay.
And there's like 3 times as many schools now, right? And times are tough, so no one's retiring. So
talking
they're
about, like-
pumping out 3 times the amount of pharmacists every year, and no one's retiring. So like, unless you want to,
So you're saying
move or
don't
travel somewhere
tell-
rural.
Don't tell the kids to
Anyone
go
who
into pharmacy.
who's been asking,
Well,
me
I
to be
feel
a
like every generation is becoming more pharmaceutical dependent, though, at the same time.
Yeah.
yeah, but like any of my technicians, anyone who asks me to be a pharmacist, I'm like, pick a different job, get IT, do something else.
Dude, almost anything in the medical field, man, is like, it's
Yeah, nurse are always in demand.
Yeah, but even that, it's like it's easy to get a nursing job that is the one you don't want.
That's true.
Like it's the medical field, like, and dude, all the shit I hear it from my wife all the time, but like if there's not something that moves into like a cash based system, it's going to fail.
Yep.
All like the liability bullshit, all like the
And it's only more and more and more responsibility. Every year you have to do more training, and there's more paperwork and more shit on my plate. Like it's really stressful. The pay is good, but
Yeah.
like it's not increasing at the rate at which my responsibility and pressures are increasing. Plus, it is a very competitive field in which like there's an abundance of pharmacists. Like I
didn't realize.
you're missing more techs. Like you want like they're like, and people of course want to be pharmacists. You're higher paid for like basically the same job. But techs are very much easier to get a job as a tech because
Yeah.
you're always looking for good techs.
Interesting.
But yeah,
I didn't
just
know- I
don't,
didn't
if
know
you're
that.
looking to being a pharmacist, like if you're interested in the medical field, look at somewhere.
Actually,
look
most
somewhere else.
most of the medical fields.
Just look at dispensaries.
I'll be a neurosurgeon like Jana in
When you're
Yeah,
20, when you're 25.
there's no way. Like, I mean, I trust me. I'm like, yeah, you can do it. But like, when she finally gets to a point where she realizes that she's got another 20 years of school or some shit, like, you know, what I mean?
You can be a doctor by 25, but a neurosurgeon.
somebody's gonna. I mean, she's gonna have to come. It's interesting, right? Because it's like it's complicated. Because I mean, basically, if you're a woman, right? Yeah, I know, gross.
In the medical field,
just an open cavity,
she gonna
walking
be
around all day with
a
that
nurse?
shit.
Is that what she's doing? A nurse?
But like, you know, you're a woman, a biological woman. You, at some point, if you want to get into neurosurgery, for instance, if that's the field that you want in, you're going to have to sit down and have a conversation with yourself. Like, do I want to be a surgeon or do I want a family?
Yeah,
Because I probably won't be able to do both.
You can have a family, but you might not be a very good family member.
Yeah, well,
That's
not
the
even that.
problem.
But by the time you get out of school, you may not, like, really finished up on your own. You may not be in a good place to have children.
I mean, people. I mean,
Are you talking about being 38 years old?
Yeah, no, I mean, but people do it anyway, right? People don't wait to. Well, should or not is a different question.
Hey,
different.
listen.
But people have kids while they're in school before they get a real job. Like if you want
For
family,
sure,
you
but I
do
mean,
that.
there's a
But
reason-
it will hinder you.
We got to be
accomplishing
careful here,
your goal.
guys. You've seen the movie Idiocracy, right? You remember what happened?
Yes,
I
this is
mean,
what
the
is happening now.
Gatorade on the crops. So I mean, listen, you know, I think if I was going in the medical field, I think I'd go for some sort of specialty like podiatry. I'm only fucking with your feet,
Gynecology.
and nothing's ever going to be.
You're a little freakazoid.
No, I'm not. Trust me. But like, I fast forward through those scenes. It's like that's all, and there's never going to be any. You know, is there an on-call podiatry network? Do you need a podiatrist at 2 a.m? Probably not. I don't know. I'm just thinking about like ear, nose, and throat. Like, did they learn the whole body, or are they so focused on just the sinuses that's?
I think about that last part a lot.
Say but I had to get my esophagus stretched because I was having a hard time swallowing.
Yeah.
That's a legit sentence, but it's not what you think.
Yeah.
Pervs.
I mean, I wish I'd have known more about pharmacy specialties because, like, when I went through rotations, I really enjoyed nuclear pharmacy, and I would have gone into that. But like, it's one of those things. If you don't know, it's too late.
Yeah.
Like you had to have known that's where you were going to. Like your trajectory had been that way the whole time. By
right.
the time,
I just
it's
wanted
too
to-
late. Otherwise, like, it's good to know. To know you want to be a neurosurgeon and not be a doctor first, and then want to be a neurosurgeon
Yeah.
because your path is different.
Well, I that's why I was just going to chime in on that last part. Like plenty of people do have kids while they're still getting school,
Yeah.
and of course they do. But there's also like there is a reason why there aren't that many women in those sorts of fields because most of them are like, no,
It's hard to do both well.
I'm going to be a family.
I don't want to commit 20 years. to
Yeah,
this
I'm going to
career,
be a family physician so that I can have my own family.
Yeah.
you know,
So, and you know, just thinking about in medical field in general, but something as specific as that, the technology is going to change so much now between, like, let's say
That's a
now
fact.
and the day that Jana graduates with her neuros degree. I mean, just think about the technology and the robot that you have to learn how to drive to do that.
I mean,
and-
the robot was surgerying fucking Krista up.
oh yeah, no doubt. I'm just saying,
She's-
where's that going to be in? You know, is it going to be like an auto doc thing
Well,
you see in
Doctor
sci-fi?
Strange
You
was
just
like,
sit in a chair.
hold my beer, let me do this live. Remember? It was like, fuck your robot, and he did it live.
yeah,
That was the first scene.
yeah.
That's gonna be Jana.
Tell them, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, like I'll support her, but you know, she's 15 years old. You know, well, she'll be 15 next week. So I don't have a gun to her head saying, you said
Right.
fucking no, you better fucking do it.
I didn't decide to be a pharmacist until I was 24.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't pick. Well, I mean, I always wanted to be a mopper, but I just ran from it for a long time.
I'm doing what I do for a living because this is where I landed.
Right.
That's just kind of how my life. It isn't like I woke up and was like, you know what I want to do?
Sell truck
This.
parts.
I wanna sell
I
truck
wanted to be into sciences, or like I want to be like a robotics engineer, which was really unrealistic back then. But now it's not.
What?
I just remembered, and I'll just say it. I got made at work. I think I sent y'all the screenshot a listener.
Yeah.
Found me on our company intranet. That's not the
hilarious.
first time it's happened.
Are
but
they
he was
higher?
like-
Are they a higher up? Because that's the only time there's a problem.
no, that I honestly don't.
What?
They're in a completely
That'd be
different
hilarious.
section.
It
and
was like your
we
bosses.
would never cross paths.
Or
at
like
work.
someone on the board or something is like, I listen to your show.
Yeah, there was one time.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, but I got made, kids. Should
There-
use the kayfabe name.
There was one time where I was talking about a coworker on here, and then that coworker came to me and was like, "I
Keep
heard
my name."
I heard that. I heard the podcast where you talked about me, and I was like, in my head, I was like, "What did I say?" You know, because I get along. I honestly like I get along with everybody at my. There's nobody at my job I hate.
Yeah.
Like, there's people I prefer to spend time with over others, but
Yeah, it's just like
I get along with everybody.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I hope I didn't say anything that like comes across fucked up or whatever. And I was like, what did I? And she was like, no, you said some nice things. She like, but then she took offense to some line or whatever. But I was like, yeah, well, you know, that's fair. You know, take the accentuate the positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is crazy that like because I said, how did you know? And apparently somebody else that, you know, mopped somewhere else, listened to it, told somebody, that person told somebody, you know, and before you know it.
You never. It's weird. The both the amount and the collection of people who listens to this.
Yeah.
Fucking strange.
Agreed. Doctor Strange.
Bring it back. Neurosurgeon.
There it is.
Fucking. What did I do for real? Oh, I watched Guardians 3.
Yeah.
A-.
There you go.
I loved it.
was good.
I was like, I wish I still loved Marvel the way I did. I would have loved this more because, like, this doesn't bring me back as a problem. It doesn't make me want to watch more Marvel shit. But it is a gun product, right? So, like,
I think
all the Guardians are.
I think all of them, if not just at least the last two.
So I was like,
but I think all of them.
And I'm like, man, he can make good shit. So maybe the DC universe could be good. But then you talk, but this was bad.
Yeah, but I don't know if this, like I said, I don't know
How much of his hand was involved?
exactly.
But like, it was so good. It was. I like it would have not gotten the minus. I know you don't like the Warlock part because like you like the.
I hate the Warlock part.
Yeah, I don't. I don't because I have no connection
right.
to the comic book.
It's
Warlock.
much like the Major for me, I guess.
Yes, and I wish there was more of him. I wish he had a bigger role or like just more parts. That wasn't enough. Like I liked his character, not connected to the comic book, but him is a very interesting character to me. Like I wish they would have explored that and his relationship with his mom or the test tube mom more. But yeah, I don't. It feels like maybe it was rushed or stuff was cut out. It feels like they were meant to be in it more.
See, I feel like
it feels like they were
it's
just
hard
tacked
for me
it
to.
on.
I'm always at a disadvantage with this stuff when I saw it back when it came out, and now I'm having. But like in my mind's eye, I feel like the Rocket story was really great.
It was amazing,
and nothing else was. That was my. That was kind of my position on it. I was like,
okay,
I was like, man, the Rocket story is really good and it's really cute and it's heartfelt and it does all those things right. And I was like, I was like, I think that the general audience member sees those things, has an emotional response to those things, rightfully so, because it's done really well, and they overlook the rest of it. And I felt like the rest of it was really weak and contrived. Contrived being the key word, like the amount of. I can't remember exactly where they had to get to, but they ended up in that one place and they were going to get arrested and everything else. Like, but like in order to get all of that, it was one of those things where I was like, well, why wouldn't you just do this? In the same breath, I'm like, why wouldn't you just put armed security at the door if it's the most important thing in the fucking world? But I can't remember it now since.
Okay, yeah, so it's hard
but
to talk about.
The Rocket stuff was great.
I thought all of the relationship.
I think I gave it a 7 out of 10 just because the Rocket.
What's the letter grade? Is that C?
C.
Okay.
I think the Rocket carries it. It's just I felt everything else was kind of like meh.
I thought all the relationships and character arcs with them were like every character was explored, shown the growth or changes from where they used to be, where they're now, and how they feel about each other. I thought Mantis was like really her part was really good in it. Like her being the only person who like speaks from the heart, without like dancing around and stuff. She's like, I love this person. They are family. Nobody else says that. You get the gist of them feeling a certain way about each other, but like she explains the dynamics and the faults and stuff of people and seeing where Nebula. I don't know. And Gamora, this past Gamora who is in the current who's not the dead Gamora.
Right.
Like I thought everything was done well, and I was very attached to all the characters.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, too bad it doesn't save the rest of this MCU, which is still going down to the trash fire. Like as of the last TV show,
What was the last TV?
Invasion.
Oh
You
yeah,
didn't watch it.
I
Exactly.
watch
You didn't
it,
even
yeah.
watch it. Like
I think I'm like, dude. I'm having to work myself up to watch this Ahsoka thing. Like I'm like, man, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch it.
They don't.
But I want to know what happens.
Then watch the spoiler.
Read a
trailer.
synopsis.
Watch
And I
YouTube
want to
videos.
have a little juicy opinion on it, Joey. I want to have a little juicy opinion.
There's a lot
that
of
can rattle
lot of
people's
work.
feathers. You
A
know,
lot of work to put it.
know.
Well, maybe you'll love it.
Maybe-
or
maybe.
it'll give you hope, or like maybe
Yeah.
it'll be like Guardians for me, where like it won't bring you back to the universe, but you can enjoy this.
you know, and I really actually liked the first episode of Secret Invasion.
Oh yeah,
But I was like, but I really don't want to watch any more of it at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? What the fuck? It's weird.
I mean, you've moved on from those places.
Yeah, I think it's just been so much. It's been so much mediocre that
Yep.
I'm just struggling to stay invested because I'm like, man, how much of my life am I losing to mediocrity? You know, like when's the last time? What's
Because you don't get entertained by that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like if I'm something to put on while I'm eating dinner,
right,
you know,
right. You know, like I can tell you what the last great DC thing I saw is. I can tell you, but I'm like trying to think what the last great Marvel thing is. I'm guessing Infinity War is what it is for me.
Wow, that far back.
I think so. You know, and then I mean, Snyder shit was what 2020 or 2021. Whatever, that the fucking Snyder cut, and then the last great Star Wars thing I saw was probably
8
for me. Which no, Clone Wars final season.
It came out after that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You know, and then everything else to me is not that I think it's bad, and I think Andor's.
No, Andor,
I think
yeah.
Andor's good, but I don't think Andor's great. I think Andor's good. Like I don't think it's mid. I don't think it's mediocre. It's like, you know, when you had to fill out a bubble sheet and it's like, you know, it's the neutral. It's like above neutral. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But it's not all the way over. But yeah, I think that I think it's just being hit over the head with, you know, huge, and it's not even like you go to see a movie. Like I go to see Blue Beetle. It's 2 hours of my life. I get in the car, I talk a bunch of shit about it, and by the time I'm home, I'm over it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was a 2-hour investment, and I'm completely over it by the time I get home from a 20-minute car ride. But if I watch 8 hours of this shit, 10 hours of this shit, and I have to like invest in it and keep track of all these fucking characters, and then at the end of 10 hours, I'm like, man, I don't fucking like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's a pretty big ask, you know?
Yeah, I get it. Fucking soft shit. I've been watch the new season of Nailed It, which is a different format. This time they
What show?
Nailed It is when they bring amateur or shitty regular home bakers to try to replicate some shit that is professionally done.
Oh,
and it's
I've seen-
always
okay.
comically bad.
Yeah.
So it's the same
I'm
format,
familiar.
except for like this whole season with one group of people in which they're actually progressively getting better episode by episode. And by the end, like they were making a way above average shit. So like that's interesting to see that like with time and commitment and good teachers and patience, like you can do amazing things.
Right.
Like that's what I got. The message, it's all fun and games and all, but like seeing the results, that's the message that I got. It's like, it is right. Like the Blender guy follows. It's about time, commitment, fucking persistence.
Dude, you're West
Fucking
Side.
keep
What are you
doing it.
West Side nut right now for?
I don't know, man.
You know what's funny?
He's
That,
like, he keeps making these hand gestures, but it's like doing the West Side hand signal while he's doing it.
I was listening to some music, and appropriately, I did this during a song, and like my kids were amazed that I can do that.
Really?
Like I
can't put their
remember,
finger over
like
the
I had
finger?
to teach myself how to do that when
Yeah,
the
but
appropriate time came.
Now I struggle a little bit with the Spock, but I can get her done.
Oh, that's
You did the Spock and then the reverse Spock.
Yes, I can. Do
Wait,
that.
all right. Oh fuck no! You know why I can't?
Your finger
Let me tell you something.
Your pinky and ring is tied together.
Yo, they listen.
They're close.
Listen,
They're
they
close.
are ride or die.
They close like cousins in Alabama.
I can't. Wait, so I can bring my ring finger down and my pinky can stay. But watch what happens. I'll bring my pinky down. Oh, where you going?
Wow.
Where are you going?
You got some short ass tendons, man.
I'm coming. No, hey, you go, we go.
I got long tendons.
You're like those lobster people with like like the penguin. You might as well have those fingers fused together.
I'll show her my French flipper trick.
So if you take that statement from Danny DeVito, and that basically is the entire character he has on Sunny.
Yes.
It's based around that.
That shit is funny.
Great. It's great.
But yes, now it's a good show. I'm still doing Blunder, obviously. I'm progressing. I'm just, I can't make myself move on. Like, I know the next step I need to take, but like, it's because every time I work on it, Bobby, it gets incrementally better. So it never gets done.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing with like, Spielberg said it, right? Like, no piece of art is ever finished. It's always abandoned.
Yeah, and I don't want to abandon.
Yeah.
It's like realistically, I have to stop at some point. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's
because if I get to a point where I'm stuck, where I'm like, okay, I'm just doing the same thing over again. It's not getting. Sometimes you can draw a piece over and over and over again. You get to a certain point, it's like it's not getting any better than this.
Right.
But if
or even if it is, it's not getting better enough.
So that's the thing. Like, I have to decide what the point is, because like I keep redoing certain things, or like sculpting over and over again. Like, smash the clay up, I build it back up. It's like it's a little bit better than last time, right? So how often can I do that before I quote unquote perfect it, right?
Yeah.
And should I stop if I am getting better?
Yeah.
It's just like the nailed it thing, right? If you're progressively getting better. Like, why not?
Well, maybe I think there's maybe something to be said about, like a body of work, and looking at a completed body of work and saying like, this is when I started and this is where I am.
Oh, just like finish or just stop and then start a new piece.
Yes.
That's what I need to do.
I think there's something.
I need to put it down and finish, quote unquote, finish this and start something else.
It's just like the dioramas and shit, and even like the drawing stuff that I do, right? Which I haven't done in a while. And I need to do something. I like need that itch scratched, but like I have stuff now that I'm not comfortable selling anymore because it's not at the. It's not an indicative standard of I don't want it to represent me anymore.
Right. You've grown from that.
Past it. Yeah. But I'll never like it'll always be part of my portfolio.
You won't take it out
because I want to see. It's a constant reminder to me of like when I started thinking about how horrible I am at everything in life except for talking shit. Then I can look at this thing and I'm like, oh no, there is growth here and you can see it. And it's documented. Yeah. There's something to that shit. It's just like
yeah, so it's different with digital art, right? Just like even drawing on iPads and stuff, like you can rework the same piece is the problem. You don't. Well, instead of moving on and making a new piece and show it, like my progress on this current piece I'm working, I can't see what I did 3 weeks ago. I know it's worse,
right?
But there's no way to track it. Like you said, if I started a new piece instead,
correct,
I could have seen that.
And it's like I used to say with Adam with his Warhammer shit, like because he would have like a Space Wolf. I don't know what I don't even know what they're called anymore.
Blank.
The tactical squad. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That he's painting now and it looks, picture perfect, right? Yeah. And then he would say, well, I'm going to go back and I'm going to repaint these. Yeah. And they're like from his childhood. I'm like, how can you do that? Like
that's my tendency too.
This is a locked in time thing. Like this is like, your blood, sweat, and tears went into this and you gave it all you had. And now you can always look at it. It's like a moment in time. Like, how can you erase that? It would drive me nuts, but because I think
it's got sentimental value too.
I think that history is something that I value. I think of like where things have been, where they go and where they're going is something that I value. And I may have only come to that realization within the last year that like I value watching how things change, and having a record of it. And I think even like stuff that I'm doing, like, like documentation, I think like even the kitchen table stuff that I'm doing on Patreon, the fact that I'm like capturing these people and there's now a record of it.
Yeah. Not just in your memory having that experience, but
yes,
having a record of it.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I thought it was great that your dad came on.
Yeah.
To talk, as little as it might have been, like he was on.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to put all that together. And actually, I think he's going to come and do a couple other things via the phone.
I mean, still.
But yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah. He had cancer on his nose. Did I say that?
Yeah. He cut
They cut it off.
Cut it off.
It was fucking spite his face, if you know what I mean.
Do you know where the story is from? It's awful.
Huh?
Do you know that story of where that came from?
Oh, yeah.
The nuns?
Tell me, it was like...
So, like...
I have heard this.
So, like, I could be wrong, but this is my understanding of what the mythos is. Is that these nuns were that the Vikings were coming to invade. And so to prevent themselves from getting raped, they all cut their noses off. Right?
So to make themselves ugly.
Yes, but then the Vikings came and saw that they were fucking grotesque and they killed them all.
Oh, man, none of them were thick?
None of them? But apparently that's where that came from, and that's an awful story.
In
all aspects.
At least they died pure.
That is
apparently.
I'm sure not all of them did. I'm sure someone didn't care.
If they wouldn't have cut off their noses, though, I think. They would have been the one that's like, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. That is.
But I could be wrong. I could have just made that shit up. I could have dreamt that shit up. It could have been a fever dream.
Or it could have been somewhere.
It's canon now.
Yeah,
there was something
you
that
spoke it into existence.
There's like some TV show.
I'm sure someone will comment. Hey, someone to comment on this. I'm not looking this up.
There's some TV show where it's like a what's the shit with fucking Stephen King and them kids and they're like on the train. Stand By Me.
Okay.
It's like
there's a lot of movies.
it's like a Stand By Me type show or movie with these young kids and they're like kind of outside like, you know, and getting into shit and figuring out life and all that kind of stuff. And they're talking about Tori Amos's Little Earthquakes. Right? And they're saying this one kid is like, it's all a metaphor for orgasms. And that shit is going to have a whole generation of kids or people that watch this thinking that that's true, but that's not what that's about at all. You know, so it could have been one of those things. It doesn't make it less cool though. So, I mean, cool in a tragic sense, but you know, like a
interesting.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. But the thing is with the Blender thing, it has a current hiatus point, which is tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Okay.
So whatever I get done by tomorrow at 6 p.m., it's gonna wait for a bit before I get back to it.
Okay.
Armored Core 6 comes out at 6 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time.
What does?
Armored Core 6.
Okay.
That's the game I've been looking for.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to be sitting on my computer at 5:59
waiting for it to hit.
So, like, you know, my brain can only handle one thing at a time. So, whatever I do between now and then is what I get done. And
I miss, you know, we talked about appointment television and stuff like that, but I do miss that.
Like waiting at GameStop at 12 a.m.
Waiting for the drop.
I did that last night with Ahsoka. It came out at 9 last night, so
like whatever the drop is, like, you know, I don't know. I miss that. But go ahead.
Do you miss like waiting?
I miss the excitement. I miss the excitement of the drop.
Yes,
you know?
Because even if they're, it's cool, but it's also not because like, I don't know, it's exciting, but also like pinching a tent, so to speak, in front of a fucking store at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it sucked. But it was also
experience.
Great.
Yeah, it's both.
You know, like there's plenty of times I met like the coolest there's plenty of times I met the doofiest motherfuckers. But like,
but if you wait in line, you didn't get what you wanted. That's also a fucking thing.
Yeah. But it was like, you know, even like Force Monday or Force Friday shit, like the shit that they used to have.
The Toys R Us thing?
Yeah, where it would like open up and it would have like all the shit from the next movie, like all the toys that were coming out and like, you know, it was a fucking experience, you know, and like you'd hit a few stores and, you know, I miss that. I miss a lot of the excitement and magic of a lot of those experiences.
If you had won that giant pork, I bet you wouldn't be missing that experience.
Yeah, maybe not.
Surprised Robert hadn't just bought you one of those.
That's true.
But that's my nerve. But with your thing about tradition, I was having with history. I was actually having a conversation with a listener about something similar on Instagram. I might have wanted to bring up because like he was asking me like the conversation got to the point. It's like what's going to do with all your shit? Like, don't you have any legacy or heirlooms or anything you want to pass down to somebody? Because he didn't realize I really didn't want kids. I'm not having kids. I mean, Chris don't want.
Does he have kids? This person?
I didn't.
Okay.
But and I was like, I don't value tradition or ancestry or legacy or heirloom. I see those things as things that holds the world back from progress, and I think they're very self-important ideas that people hold on to themselves. And he wanted me to explain more, like, because he's interested. But it's over text, and I feel like it's a bit complex.
Right.
And I was also out on my lunch break.
Yeah.
At work. But so I told him, like, the closest thing I have to if I die first, everything goes to Krista. It doesn't fucking matter. And I know if she dies last, I don't think she cares. I think she holds value to things even less than I do. Like, it's like, when I die, it doesn't fucking matter who gets it. Right. And I was like, if she dies first, everything obviously will go to me. And if I die last, the closest thing I have the next of kin that I plan to pass everything on to is your kids. Like, literally. I mean, that's why I told him to, and Kristen knows that. Like, yeah, Bobby's kids. Everything, all my shit goes to Bobby's kids.
All the fucking anime shit, man. I'll be fucking kicking that shit out the window.
I mean, some stuff is worth value.
I'm just kidding.
I'm talking about all of it. The car, my house, everything. I have nobody to pass the shit on. I'm not saying you get this or you get this. I'm like, they go to Bobby's kids and they can figure out and fight over who gets what.
Yeah. Well.
But he said, what does it mean? What I mean tradition holds progress. I'm like, everything that is tradition that we hold on to the old ways or the past, instead of like a record, right, to be looked at, learn from, and move on to.
Right.
People, I feel, tend to hold on to them and just hold on to them and don't move on and don't progress. I think that's where superstition, a lot of religion, and a lot of that shit.
I'm glad you clarified that, because that's where I feel.
I'm not talking about annual dinners. That's not what I'm talking about.
Right. Or even shit like like having this like documented history, and it's like just to say like, man, like we came from this, and like we're going, and like, and I think it keeps you sometimes it can keep you humble. Like you look at, like, I'll look at old pictures, I'll be like, damn, like that was my house.
Yes.
Yes. Like, and now I'm on to this, and I want my kids
from the bottom.
Yeah. But it's like, I see old videos now from YouTube. Somebody will comment, and I'll look at the skit or whatever, and I see my basement. But it is like a document of it, and I'm like, man, that shit
all the different.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing?
The table,
exactly,
all the changes, every year.
And it's like, to me, it's like it's a record. And it's like to remember where you came from.
But it's not for me, like, this is what it used to look like, and this is how it's going to keep looking like.
Correct. Yeah, no, not like that at all.
I feel like a lot of traditions
can do that.
Are more like that.
Yeah,
it's just
I think some can.
Women didn't used to be able to vote.
Well, that's what I think.
I don't think you call that a tradition.
Some people, I mean,
but I think when it comes to,
some people view it that way, though, or like quote unquote heritage.
When you're holding on to the past to define a way of life,
yes,
that's when it can be an issue.
And that's what I mean by holding back progress. Is like, we can't do this or that because it wasn't this way. So like or even quote unquote historic building. Man, this fucking country is 200 and some odd years old. It's nothing. It's nothing but a drop in a bucket with actual history that's thousands of years old in other fucking countries. I don't think this fucking building in Newmarket has to fucking stay in place in order to not bully it, like bulldoze it, build something better. You know what I mean?
Like my like I don't have like a whole lot of photos and shit of my dad, right? Like, cause my dad was a single dad, and he's a fucking man, and he wasn't like, he didn't have a wife to be like, all right, go get in this picture so that we can, you know what I mean? So like recently somebody tagged me in a picture, and it was a picture of my father, and I was like, fuck, man. Like just because I don't have much, So I saved that shit, like, Laura and I we're working on this. And when I say working, it's just more of conceptualizing at this point, Christopher.
Sure.
But we're gonna take all the, because she has like old family photos like from Europe, and you know what I mean, and Argentina, and I have old family photos that don't go back that far, but back to like the the 40s.
That's far.
And like we're gonna like scan them and like put together like books and everything. So like there's like this documentation of our families, and they're gonna be integrated.
The beauty of digitizing,
like they're gonna be like this year of her family, this year my family, and and then that's the type of shit that I want to pass on to my kids. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And have them be able to continue adding on to it, and have this like documentation really of their family
of memories and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys have quote unquote heirlooms, like a piece of like jewelry or some shit that's passed,
we have
one generation to another or some shit like that.
So her side, my wife's side has some. There's like some pieces of jewelry. Like my wife's wedding ring is my grandmother's wedding ring. Mm-hmm. So like that's a.
Well, see, that makes sense because it's actually functional. Also, like
yeah, but
if you're going to use that in that way,
yeah, but it's also like the idea that maybe she could give that to one of my daughters,
right, for them to use.
Yeah.
It's functional.
Yeah, but like I have a ring, a pinky ring. I know that sounds some real guinea shit, but like
open up.
But like my grandfather had it and gave it to my father, and then my father gave it to me. But then I don't have anybody to give it to, So like
but do you feel the pressure to, or feel the need to? Does it have to be?
I don't think I felt any pressure to have a son to give that ring to. I think I felt pressure to have a son just in general, just being an adult in this country, and also like, huh?
I never felt any sort of pressure about that.
Well, your firstborn was a son.
I understand that, but
if your first two were girls, you don't know how you feel.
I guess not.
And I tell you like. When I'm in a, I
don't feel any way about it, to be honest. So,
but because you never had to.
I know. I'm just saying, like the gender of my children, I have no opinion.
You never did, even before
you never had to. You had a boy and then you had a girl,
and then a boy.
But I mean, you have one of each to get. What I mean, to giddy up. Like when I'm in a fucking grocery store, strangers will stop me, and that I don't know, I've never seen, and be like, "You gonna try it for a boy?" It's common.
Is it so? How do they know when you're in the store?
Because they think I just have all girls because I have 3 girls.
Oh, because the girls are with you. I was thinking this is a very strange experience. So you should get a shirt that says "Girl Dad," and then
but it's like I think I felt pressure in that sense. Like
I think that plays partly into the thing I'm talking about with like tradition that should that's not so good because that is a passed on societal gender bias that we continually have because
shit like
names being passed on or whatever.
My wife never dances with a son at a wedding.
Yeah.
That's an experience that doesn't happen for her. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it sucks,
But I don't think it.
Yeah,
I don't understand why.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, you missed that experience, but how much more did you gain with what you have? Like,
I don't know.
That's the thing.
Because you think it's a moot point, right?
That's what I'm getting at. It's like,
but some people will have like 6 kids trying to have like the one gender they want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that.
Well, if you adopt and it's automatically, what you get.
I'm sure that at some point that shit has crossed my wife's mind. Yeah, I'm sure. I have no doubt.
Well, we're in the 2023, and one of yours can turn into a boy. Either one.
That's true.
Don't give up.
I guess I shouldn't count my chickens before they fully hatch.
You never know.
Be careful how you say that.
yeah. Anyway,
so that I had that. So I'm gonna let him know that we talked about it on here.
Well, and also the reason why I asked if he had kids is because I think a lot of times, and not to judge him, but I think a lot of times, like when I talk to people and have similar conversations. People that don't have kids are like, man, are you gonna pass all this stuff down to your kids? Let me tell everybody something. If you don't have kids and you're into this nerd shit, they don't give a fuck, right? Generally speaking.
Well, I think if you just think about it as monetary value, don't look at it as statues. Look at it as dollar signs.
Right. That's fair.
But yeah, I don't get it. But like I was talking about I'm not sure if it had intrinsic value or do you just put meaning on something just because it happened more than once? Like when like your grandfather gave your dad something and your dad happened to give you something. Like I'm not sure if that had intrinsic value or you guys just gave it value because it's been passed down a couple of times now that you might want to pass it on.
No, I think that is the value. The value is the history, right? The value is like, my grandfather, he built my grandmother's house with that ring on his finger. My father, went through a divorce and fought for custody of me with that ring on his finger.
Yeah, but I think that's something you assign to that ring where that ring had nothing necessarily to do with it.
You 100% assign.
Yeah, unless that ring, had like a little sawtooth, which helped build the house.
It's even like the wedding ring though. It's a dope wedding ring to be fair. But even if it wasn't. Even if it wasn't worth a whole lot of money, the value is in the history of it.
Yeah, because that was actually used as part of the ceremony and the meaning of the event.
Right, but then we're taking events and placing priority one over another.
Well, I'm just saying, like, some items just happen to be around during a certain time period. You know.
Well, it had my grandfather's initials.
Okay, well, that makes a difference.
Yeah, and then
I didn't know that part.
And then then that's the same initials as my father, and it's the same initials as me, and you know, like, but I mean, like, I don't wear it. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't wear my wedding ring either.
Yeah.
Because I'm out there in them streets. No, I'm kidding.
On the streets.
My rings don't fit anymore. So.
Actually, neither do mine.
I do too much shit with my hands.
Yeah,
I feel like I would
only
take
wear
it
them
off
when I
too
go out.
often.
That's my thing. It's it's actually it can some of the chemicals can be a
I
bit
was
of a
thinking about getting one of
liability.
those silicone ones, like just the silicone band.
Yeah,
It's not gonna get
You just
fucked up.
tattoo that bitch on.
That's awesome.
yeah, or that.
That's the new thing, right?
Yeah.
On my neck.
Let's do questions first again this week, and just because time constraints.
My bad.
No.
It's good stuff.
And I
It's
had to
probably with this conversation more interesting than talking about Scooby Doo or whatever we have in the notes. No offense.
yeah, I have softball at 6.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so Mike writes in, Mike T says, question for the NRR crew. What's up, NRR crew? I wanted to see what your excitement was for the Ahsoka show coming up. What are you hoping to see happen in the show? Gearing up for the show, I binged Rebels for the first time. I thought it ended pretty strongly with the final season. I was surprised to see spoilers, the Mortis gods pop up again. What do you think of the Mortis gods? Are they cool or are they too raff for Star Wars?
What exactly is the Mortis God?
They were like it was the father was like the Force, and then like the daughter was
the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yeah,
That's
The
fine.
owl and the
was
one of them?
Did they turn? Yeah, they turned into something.
yeah.
I mean, I thought it was. I was fine with it. I mean,
I think it's pretty interesting, but I don't think they've
explored
explored it enough to make it. All,
Keep watching.
oh yeah, okay. Well, there you go. So I don't. I wish I gave a fuck. I don't give a fuck about this show. I do plan on watching it, but the fact that it's a Star Wars show about Jedi shit, which is my preference,
Right.
and it came out yesterday, and I haven't seen it, is telling for me.
Did you know it came out yesterday? Because
I knew. I thought
kind
it
of
came,
a surprise.
I thought it came out this morning.
Okay, it's coming out on Tuesdays going forward. Just
Okay.
so you know.
Okay. What about you? Are you excited for anything? Want to see anything explored or?
Honestly,
For a ride.
Fran's supposed to be in this, right?
yeah, I
He's
think
the big bad.
I think the trailer has given me enough to know what I'm getting. That I'm. I mean, I don't let the baloney just flop. Just let it flop. Let Filoni get his baloney and just flop it all around.
I'll tell
Slap
you
me in the face.
what's
with it.
potentially exciting for me, and this goes against everything that I usually say:
Space whales.
exploration of more time travel,
Really?
Okay.
because then you can fix 9.
Well, I mean 7, 8, 9, so you don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah. That's the only thing that I'm really like has my interest kind of peaked. Paul C writes in and says, who is a famous person / celebrity that you always felt you'd get along with? For the purposes of this question, we're not talking about your hero or someone you admire, where you'd be asking them questions about their process. For this, we want to know someone you think you'd vibe with.
Post Malone. I play Magic with him. I don't know him. I don't know his music.
I think
mean,
we would all probably be fine with Post Malone.
I have a
seems
feeling
like such
actually
a-
he might irritate me.
I feel like
so low key.
The more,
Yeah, so
man.
so like seemingly unmotivated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which may all be which all may be
he's
emphasized.
obviously prolific, right? He seems to be.
I'm not sure if I would describe him as prolific,
Okay, but
but I mean he
that's work.
gets the job done.
He doesn't just sit around and collect money all the time.
No.
Yeah, but like I feel like he's like this generation's Keanu. Like I've seen nothing but like the best interactions with him. Anytime anyone's ever like had interaction with him, like he was like the best dude. Like there was like a clip of him like he just roll out of like a hotel looking like he just woke the fuck up trying to smoke a cig, surrounded by people. He just started taking pictures, signing names. Like
Yeah.
did not fucking have a mean bone in the guy's body.
Yeah.
It just seems like a very positive dude.
What about you?
The obvious answer is Matthew McConaughey. All right. From
You think he's
several
actually that laid back?
He appears to be. He was in Alabama recently filming a movie and was just like taking pictures of people at stoplights and just like totally like part of the community, not being, an uppity guy. I don't know. I mean, you think somebody like Adam Sandler would probably be pretty chill based on what he wears in public. Basketball shorts, some random ass shorts, basketball shorts with a button up tucked into it with sneakers in public. Hey, that guy couldn't take himself. I think that's mostly what you
trying
run
to start
into with celebrities is they would be so like into themselves, right?
Yeah.
So self-absorbed.
Yeah.
You think of like Ben Affleck might be cool, but then he's got J-Lo with him, and I'm sure that's a whole thing. So
Well, it's that you vibe with it. You got to have something in common to vibe with somebody to like hang out, right?
like J-Lo.
You-
He's a fan. I'm a fan. I mean, he's just a super fan.
Yeah. I think like I'm trying to think like I think I would probably vibe pretty well with it depends on the circumstances, but like in a controlled environment, I think I would vibe well with Manson. Just because I find his humor is like in line with the humor that I appreciate, and I think he's a person that likes to like have interesting takes on why humans act a certain way, and that's like one of my favorite things in life also.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times like when I hear him talk in like just casual conversation, I'm like, that's the type of conversation that I have.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I wouldn't want him like, you know, like doing a rail of coke and like kicking my shit over.
Sure.
You know what I mean? With his large boots.
Boobs?
Boots.
Oh, boots. I thought you said boobs.
But they could have been boobs too.
Could have been.
But I don't know who else. Like you know, like there's people that I think I would like to be around, but it's more so for about my entertainment.
Yeah.
Like I would love to be around Old Dirty Bastard. Like that's the type of person that like I just like to
lights up a room.
Exactly. Like it's like I'm there for the story.
Sure.
You know?
And that's what it's all about is the story. Now, I don't like meeting famous people because I'm always disappointed by their height. So everybody's like a leading Joe. You're a leading man in Hollywood. I don't know if you know that. Your height. Everybody's short.
We got a write in from Peter G. Hello, lovely boys.
Hello, Peter.
How are you, sir?
Peter.
I hope you're all well. My body has rebelled against me, and I've been struck down with a case of gout. I'm not a fat English lord either, so I'm somewhat aggrieved. So you don't have to be fat, actually. It actually has more to do with protein than fats. But he says it's a grim condition, and I do not recommend it. For those not in the know, it's a buildup of crystallized uric acid that causes swelling and intense pain in joints. Usually starts in the toes, because your body's smart. And it's just trying to get rid of the more useless shit.
it's just grinding rocks in your joints, bro.
Have you folks ever had any inklings or taste of horrors that await old men? So I have gout as well. It's like herpes, like it never really goes away.
No. Once you get it, you always get it.
I have to
mitigate it though.
Oh yeah, so like I haven't. I'll give you an example. So I got it from crab. I was eating crab.
But you got crabs from
no, different inkling. I was eating crab dip every day for lunch for a while, but I was losing a ton of weight because it was just crab and cheese.
Yeah.
Right. So like
macros, lots of proteins.
Yeah. So like I was losing a ton of weight and I was fucking loving life until I wasn't. And I got fucking gout. I have it in my big right toe. But like, so I'll give you an example. When my niece came in, I think it was my niece, we went out and had crabs one night. Mm-hmm. Oh no! It was the fucking week that the kids went away, and Laura and we did the crab dip run. And we did everything. Then we went to Dutch's daughter. We had crab dip there. We had, I had crab dip or crab something like 4 times out of 7 days, and I had a flare up. It wasn't super painful, but it was just like like it was just like somebody like
knock. Remember me?
Just, you still got this, right? It's still here.
You could pre-med for that.
So maybe, but it wasn't even a big deal.
No, maybe you can.
I'm saying it wasn't even a big deal.
Okay.
Like within
you weren't thinking about it until it hit you.
No, and I was never in like intense pain. It was just like if it was like almost like you like a sore muscle or something. Like it's like, oh man, it's aggravating. And then within a week it went away. So like I that was one thing. I'll tell you something. I hate talking about it because it's fucking embarrassing, but that I struggle with to some degree is hemorrhoids. Like I probably get hemorrhoids 2 to 3 times a year. And like,
congrats.
Yeah. So like, I'm pretty.
This is the worst nerd rage episode.
I'm pretty good about it now. Like if I know that like if I stay pretty well hydrated and there's just routines in my life that I've changed that like have had a huge impact on it. But like when I first started getting them, it was probably like 2012, 13. Like that shit used to bother me so much. I would make a bathtub that was like 10 inches deep, so to speak, of like scalding hot water and just squat my asshole in it to try to make the itching stop.
Epsom salt.
Buy a sitz bath. They're literally just for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was 32. You know what I mean? Like, I was
He ain't trying to buy no equipment for his ass.
that too. That part
Unlike
too.
you, Joe.
People just assume it's for your father or grandfather when you go buy
Yeah,
it.
that's true. And then like aches and pains and joints and shit. You know, like my right foot hurts, my left knee hurts. I've herniated a disc twice. I just had to be careful about it. I don't have any. You know, I lost 30 pounds, and then I haven't really had an issue with it.
Yeah, to all the motherfuckers who says weight doesn't matter, the health it does.
Oh my god.
No, there are people who denies that shit.
Yeah, that's silly. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, 100%. It's the most important thing. I feel like it's the most important thing. What you eat is the most important thing. That's not necessarily just, you know, proteins and whatever. Like, I think like even like the chemicals and shit. Like, I think it's a lot of.
Well, micronutrients matter a lot too.
Yeah, but I mean, even like some of that, like you could have like a diet. Like for instance, I had a diet where I was losing weight, right, at a alarming rate, you know, and it gave me fucking gout.
Yep.
You know.
No. Yeah.
So it's complicated. Anybody you want to add or?
I got 2 bad ankles, 2 bad knees that have both been repaired, but needed probably repaired again. My hips are shit. My back is shit. My shoulders are shit.
Wow.
One of my wrists is shit. And I have hypermobility, so I'm fucked.
I do too.
Yeah. So like I can pull my finger completely out of the socket. Yeah.
Freaks.
Yeah. My shoulder comes all the way out. I had a physical therapist tell me, "Oh, you're fucked." Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are gross.
No, does your shit come out? Like that's what mine does. Like I can
his bend's too far back without a
mine
stopping
have
point.
excessive bend.
Is that not double joints? What they
That's
use to
also
call it?
hypermobility.
Oh, I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
you're not supposed to be.
Sorry, I didn't mean to categorize anybody. But
Don't
so-
label me as double jointed.
that's why
I identify as hypermobile.
Yeah, hypermobile. All right, that would be next. That'd be great to say to a doctor. Excuse me.
Yeah.
No, that's not how I identify.
Yeah. I only know it because Laura tells me. Like, you know, she diagnoses me all the time. Even shit she's not fucking qualified. Like shit with my mental illnesses.
She's more qualified than we are. So.
I still pass for like early 30s, late 20s sometimes, so I'm good.
I had 2 people recently this past couple weeks say, "You don't look old enough to have a 21-year-old."
Yeah.
Score.
You don't.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Alan Mack writes in, he says, just a quick one today. Thoughts about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lair living room diorama cartoon 7-inch and the accessory set. I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, let me break it down for
How
you.
can they be asking for $300 and $60 for the accessory pack and then adding $80 for international shipping?
Oh my God.
Have they gone mad and not caring about the fans, or am I just being an old fart? Would love to hear about Chris as a person who makes dioramas for sale, and Bobby, someone who's made a kick-ass one. Joey, sorry for excluding you, but much love.
No, but I have an opinion anyway. Just to burst your bubble, most companies don't give a fuck about the fans.
So here's
Some people
what it
who
is.
works on the projects might, but the companies themselves don't.
Right.
So here's what happened. NECA set a precedent and didn't realize it. So, you know, that tiered backdrop that every third person in the world has, you can buy that right now for $115. Okay. It's very reasonably priced. Like, I don't think I could make and sell something cheaper.
Right.
So that size dictates that why is this thing $300? Because it's the exact same width and depth of the base of that thing, because you can put it underneath it. There's nothing to it, right? It's $300, and then there's a $60 accessory pack, which it comes with a little like mini turtles.
Yeah, DLC.
And listen, the shipping.
I'm looking it up.
The shipping is what it is. They can't control.
Yeah, shipping.
It's going to be expensive.
Man. It's a package.
It's going to be a big box.
But we can look at the regular price. Like excluding the shipping, the price still seems ridiculous.
Yeah, let's leave that. Leave the shipping. You can't control the way you can the price, but it doesn't seem like the fandom is very excited about this, mainly because there's nothing to it. I mean, I could definitely produce that and sell it for a whole lot less money, to the point where I've thought about
do it just to fuck them.
Doing it and not making it out of foam, because that's what everybody's going to do. So
Yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't.
Like, let me see the picture you're looking at.
It doesn't look any better than yours.
Well, no.
So that's not it.
Oh,
that's,
no?
That's there may be 2 of them next to each other. It's not that big.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Are they modular?
Is this just it here?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
And that's it.
$300.
That's
Yeah,
it
that's ridiculous.
without the accessory kit.
Right. And the
accessory
accessory kit is the kitchen table and all
It
that.
comes with a bunch of stuff. It comes with like little young turtles, But they've still got their masks
You
on.
can
Because
get,
this
like-
one has like a kitchen table and
Let me look.
You can get like 4 D-tops with that. Well, I guess I don't want to sell D-tops anymore.
yeah. I mean, I am a firm. It's sewer layer, living room, and kitchen diorama. I don't know. I'm a firm believer in like the size not being like equatable to price,
Right.
Understand that,
but in the same breath that
It is to shipping.
that yes to shipping yes, but that is not. That doesn't look like $300 worth of anything. It doesn't look like $300 worth of sculpt, worth of parts count, worth of paint application. I mean, it's fully painted, but it's not.
How much does
that's what you get. That's the accessory kit.
So
It
how
comes with all this
much
shit.
does like a playset cost nowadays? Just like
like what do you mean?
any old playset you can pick up at Walmart. That's about that size. Not $300.
They don't really make. Well, no, obviously not. They don't really make much. They don't make it at scale, really. But
Does it have the sewer set on?
I'm just trying to have some kind of comparison, of like how much a regular ass retail product costs. That's similar.
So I will say like my kind of like precedent rate for a Billy shelf of a diorama.
that shows you breaks down exactly what you get there.
Yeah, that doesn't have the kitchen table.
No, it doesn't come with it.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
I mean, adding the kitchen table
Doesn't make it worth it either.
No. But it was
But
a
it's
refrigerator,
even
a
less.
stove. It was
Yeah.
at least I was like, okay, here's more parts. Here's more molds.
Well,
here's
like
more.
if it was all the accessories pack included without the extra cost,
Yeah,
I can see
yeah.
that.
But like it's
Because it's parts count at that point. Too.
correct. It's my going rate for like a Billy shelf is $300 to $400.
It's custom.
Correct. So I'm not mass producing. I don't have a mold cast. I don't have.
Speaking of which, I need to talk to you, Joe, about something around that.
We still haven't talked about laundry.
I know we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Maybe after
before
after
6 p.m. tomorrow.
After this weekend,
And I don't.
I'm free for a bit.
And I don't think that I'm undercharging.
No,
No.
So that would make me think that they're overcharging.
100% because they're factory fucking printing that shit.
Right.
yeah.
And I think that's it for questions. So let me see if there's any notes that we have on here that are really worth.
Did you guys see the trailer for the new Zack Snyder thing?
Yes, that's
a great 40K movie. I want it.
so the visuals look amazing.
Looks like 40K. A lot of it. It reminds me of 40K.
Okay, so I don't know if it reminds me of 40K at first glance, but it does look amazing. My problem with it is in typical Netflix trailer fashion, I have no idea what the fucking story is.
That's great.
I need a gist.
I like to not know.
I need a gist. I don't know what I'm going to see. I have no idea what I'm. Is it about love?
I don't have to pay for it, so I mean, I'm already paying for it.
Right. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
It seems like a redemption or a revenge story of a fucking lost princess who's coming back to reclaim her shit. That's a gist I got from it.
Okay. I didn't. I wasn't able to track it really. I was like, I don't know what I'm talking.
That's what I got out of it.
I don't know.
A
What
little
this is
girl
about.
who was rightful place was taken, got shipped off somewhere, and now coming back to take her place.
And-
It's what I could be completely wrong. But
There's
that's what I got out
another
of it.
sci-fi movie that trailer's circulating around of it's like the Contender or some shit like that. It's like these robot people. It's like robots versus humans.
I haven't
It looks
seen that.
fucking amazing.
Oh, I love it. I already love it. I don't know what it is.
It looks fucking
Tell me-
amazing.
tell me more. Tell me less. I'm watching
There's this one scene where I guess this human befriends this robot kid, and the robots are under attack by the humans. The humans want them the fuck out of here. And he's like, he's like, how do we get peace? And he's like, well, to get peace, you either got to be a good person, you got to be a human, and you got to be a good person. And the little kid's like, well, you're not a good person, and I'm a robot, so. Like, we're fucked.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
but it looks good. It looks really good.
I have not seen this, so
yeah.
it must not have been on YouTube ads. Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I've seen
the
it
only
at the
time I
beginning of Blue Beetle,
Oh,
and
that's
now,
why it's actually in theater.
and I saw at the beginning of that last movie, that Turtles, that I watched. Okay, let's say malaria's back again. I don't think we really need to talk about that, but it's in Maryland. There's like a malaria case.
Man, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why.
COVID's back. All kinds of stuff is back.
There's also some Disney shadiness going around.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, more, I should say, that I'm trying. I'm not ready to talk about it, but I do want to keep my fingers on it. But like, apparently there are other distributors and channels and everything that have contracts related to Disney films that they're supposed to get shit after a certain amount of time. I think even HBO is one of them, or whatever HBO has become.
Max?
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think it doesn't
Like
matter.
that guy?
Yes, Max. No, like that guy.
But I pointed to the Max for those who knows, and he pointed to fucking Max Rebo for those who know.
A little different.
But anyway, it's like, but Disney's like circumventing it to try to keep it exclusively on.
That's what they do with like copyrights in general.
On Disney, yeah, to try to keep it exclusively on Disney Plus, where contractually these other, so they're suing them for hundreds of millions of dollars. Like it's a whole fucking thing.
When is Mickey Mouse up for public domain?
Yeah,
They've been doing this.
I think it's it's 2025.
Soon. When did they start doing that shit? Because however long they've been doing that shit is however long they've been doing this shit. They'll just find
a way to push it back again.
Yeah,
I don't, bro. Like I maybe it's my new positive personality.
Maybe.
But shit can't be bad forever.
Yeah.
They can't win forever, especially with them losing power in terms of just their media presence, of people pushing back, people not liking Star Wars, people not liking Marvel. Like, they don't have the power to be in power forever. Like, they're going to lose at some point. Everything fucking falls.
Or just raise the fucking prices of Disney Plus to something astronomical.
And then some people,
exactly.
Like,
people will stop. Yeah.
There's a breaking point to everything.
I agree. And then
Disney.
the only last thing I was gonna say was the Russian ship that like went to the moon and crashed or whatever. They like sent a rocket ship.
Yeah, so they planned a mission to.
What? I thought you were talking about the other
moon?
plane crash.
No.
Then some Putin opponent like planes just crashed.
That's totally by accident.
Yeah.
Like
That's another crazy. Well, Putin's gonna die. See, like I said, nothing's gonna last forever. Putin's gonna die. No matter all this fucking diabolical shit he's doing, he's gonna fucking die like everybody else. It's fine. And like we all know, everybody, no one's fucking dumb enough in the world to. All these opponents all happen to randomly die all the time.
Yeah, just like that fucking.
I gotta have a poison.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But what about this moon crash?
So they were trying to land something on the moon and it crashed in the moon. They didn't.
They got there.
Right? Yeah. So India actually has something up in there. It's on the way to the moon now. They're taking the long way around.
Really?
Yeah. India has a pretty robust space program. China,
no shit.
China does. Japan.
Did you see that NASA is sending like a radio frequency out to fucking like via some fucking vessel like because of this Russian shit?
Yeah,
like to apologize for fucking
to the moon,
to any alien species that might be out there.
Nice.
It's called the Apollo G.
It's awful. I mean, I knew it was there.
Yeah, you did
trying to figure it out.
It's believable just because like there's all this like actual congressional like real serious fucking government shit talking about aliens nowadays.
Did you know that well, it was the USSR at the time
back in the USSR
claims ownership of the planet Venus.
Oh, really?
Because they are the only people who have ever successfully landed and transmitted information back before the craft melted. It's like 400 degrees. It's like Juvenile.
We watched that on we watched it on The Expanse.
Well, sure. That was the Arbogast that got torn apart, and for some reason, Adam Savage was there going. Yeah, I actually just watched that season the other day. Not too long ago. Yeah.
And with the 8th washing of The Expanse,
close. Yeah.
And with that, we can wrap it up. Shout out to Marilyn Phil on the notes and on Twitter. Shout out to Dante on Facebook, and shout out to all the listeners, and Ricky Tika Timber on the videos intermittently. And with that,
Flappy Labius,
tastiest of taints,
tight dick player.